this is a drug that is meant to treat ulcers, and if you have had an experience with ulcers, basically ulcers are wounds from the inside of your body, or even on the outside on your tongue. You can have ulcers in your mouth, but for most people, ulcers occurs in the stomach. And that is an open wound that is meant to be treated with these particular drugs. And now it is being used to terminate pregnancies. And they say that it can terminate pregnancies up to 4 months. A 4-month-old pregnancy. That is about 16 weeks. And this is something that is being sold over the counter. We are living in dangerous times. I do not advocate for abortion.
But you see, the law provides for that particular, that window. At what point?
The exception.
Exactly. At what point one should procure an abortion.
But that has to come from a medical professional, a qualified medical professional who deems the pregnancy a risk to the mother's life.
What really happens is that some of these, that's what we call illicit pregnancies, which were not planned for. So, for lack of exposure and just putting yourself into unwarranted ridicule, people go, for shortcuts, which at the end of the day, sadly, always turn out to be so tragic.
But this is a manifestation of a deeper rooted problem. This goes back to, and this is a conversation I've had on our Family Check segment. When, as a parent, are you having this conversation with your children about their sexuality?
And at what age should they start?
And at what age? Are you waiting until something happens so that you can talk about it, or are you empowering them with the proper information at the proper age in quantities and quality that they can understand? You see?
And I think it's out there that both ladies and gentlemen, in whichever way, if at any point one would want to procure an abortion, then the best way is to go the proper medical way. And seek medical attention first and a professional view on how it can be done properly. Because when you're taking, medication meant to cure ulcers,
and it will have other consequences.
Exactly. In the long run, it will.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right.
It's very sad. Very sad.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a story here for those people who are already have Huduma numbers. I have mine. Your Huduma number may be useless in 8 days. That's according to the newspaper here. Members of Parliament failed to agree on 23 laws declared illegal by High Court despite a 9-month window. So, in 8 days' time, your Huduma number could be declared useless because Parliament failed to rescue the law that created Huduma number, as well as 22 other controversial statutes which the courts had directed they be regularized in 9 months. Now, High Court last year declared that the laws illegal since the National Assembly passed them without consensus from the Senate, but gave Parliament grace period to regularize them, failure to which the court orders could kick in. So here's the thing. It emerged yesterday that the two houses of Parliament have not sat or engaged just 8 days to the July 29th, 2021 deadline. So yesterday in court, the houses continued to read from the different scripts. National Assembly lawyer Paul Mwiti asked the court to overappeal judges Asike Makhandia, Mumbe Ngungi and Agnes Murgor to extend the period, arguing that that failure to do so will create a crisis in 8 days. So if in 8 days both houses, that's the Senate and the National Assembly, will not agree, then I'm afraid that my Huduma number will be useless. I'm talking about mine. What about yours? It will be affected. So we'll have to accuse our legislators. Yeah, the court gave the orders, but as it is, there's some back and forth on that. Okay, still on court matters, union to court, in court to block university reforms plan. Now a union has challenged a decision to restructure the University of Nairobi. University's academic staff union, that is WASU, in a case filed before the Employment and Labor Relations Court, argues that the Commission for University Education, CUE, and Ministry of Education were not involved or consulted before the decision to scrap some colleges. Now, WASU says that its members are now facing imminent job losses despite having binding contracts. Now, the union further claims that some of the ongoing students have been left hanging after courses they were undertaking were merged with others, or the department's roles taken away. So the University of Nairobi, for the last 2 or so weeks, have been on the rocks with the students, and even earlier this week, CS Magoha stopped some of the restructuring taking place at the university there, and then that is now what is happening at the university, and therefore they are now in court saying that the reforms plan at the University of Nairobi is illegal, and they want the Vice Chancellor, Professor Stephen Kiama, to be stopped from undertaking such reforms at the court. All right. So that's as far as that's concerned. We are waiting to see how it will happen, and of course, if it's effected, then it will give some lifeline to the students and even the university workers. So this is it. National Lands Commission receives 740 historical land injustice claims ahead of deadline. Commission's chairman, Gershon Otachi, said that the deadline to submit such complaints expires in September 21st. The National Lands Commission has so far received 740 complaints on historical land injustices, and he said that the nature of the claims are the same across all the regions and follow specific patterns that relate to colonial replacement, inadequate land adjudication, incomplete land acquisition, natural resources conflict, evictions, and natural disasters. So September 21st is the deadline, and they're working on that. Jen, billionaire trader charged with the tax evasion of 2.5 billion shillings. I will tell you more on this. What do you have, Jen?
Let me start with this story here. Let me flip back. I tend to disorganize my paper, but this is in regards to COVID-19, as it has emerged that the Delta variant could be more hazardous, and especially to our children, than the adults. And this is a study that was conducted by the, let me see, where is this college? Yes, scientists at the Imperial College of London. It's yet to undergo peer review, but this report indicates that the Delta variant affects children more than the Alpha and the Beta variants. So parents have been asked to ensure that young people strictly observe the COVID-19 containment measures to help curb the spread of the virus, and especially among our children. But that has still proven to be a bit hard, because this research has also found that there was a 5-fold increase in COVID-19 cases among children aged between 5 and 12 years old. And this is infections from this 4th wave that mostly is featuring the Delta variant. So looking at the participants, it suggested that there is a more direct link between infections and hospitalization among young children, and especially grown-ups who are yet to be vaccinated and do not have could not provide a vaccination history. And this has also been attributed to the increased social interaction among children and young adults as schools remain open. So even as our children are at home for this week-long break, we need to also take precaution and remind them to stay safe. I know it's hard for our children to play while wearing masks, but it comes to a time where you have to put your foot down and ensure that your child is actually keeping themselves safe, because once they contract this virus, trust me, it will ravage your entire household. Now, coming to the counties, there is a potential lawsuit that would see almost all of the 47 counties have to refund monies that they collected from motorists and traders. So this came in a landmark judgment where the Supreme Court stopped this devolved units from imposing taxes for services that are offered by the national government. So this meant that the counties that have been collecting revenue on amenities that are under the purview of the central administration will have to refund this money that they have been collecting illegally. Okay. It goes on to say that counties can only charge for services if the roads accessed by motorists are within their purview and the purview of the devolved unit and not under the purview of the national government, and they could lose millions of shillings in revenue that they have been collecting from trucks that move goods from their counties, from their borders through roads that have been managed by the national government. And looking at in Mombasa, county like Mombasa, they have been collecting at least 3,000 per truck. 3,000 per truck, those that are ferrying, that are transporting minerals to the Mombasa port. So let's see how this will go. Will they surely refund these monies? Millions, and possibly could be spilling over to the billions. We'll see. Victor.
Let's play a bit. And did you know that it's just a day to Olympics?
Olympics!
Just one day to go. All right, so before we take a break, let me give you facts about Olympics.
Shoot.
Jen, did you know that the first Olympics Games took place in which year? Make a guess. Which year? Which year? Anybody? Anybody in the gallery? My director? The first Olympics Games took place in 776 BC, before Christ. So Jesus came, akapata watu, people were doing Olympics already. That is BC, 776 BC. He came, found people were playing boxing, javelin, discus.
Who called it Olympics back then?
I wonder. So this is the story. The first Olympic Games took place in 776 BC. The original Olympics began as part of an ancient Greek festival which celebrated Zeus, the Greek god of sky and weather. Now the whole competition lasted for up to 6 months.
Sparta!
6 months. And included games like wrestling, boxing,
yes,
long jump, javelin, discus, and chariot racing. Before Christ, people were playing boxing and discus and long jump. I don't know how.
Their version of Olympics wasn't our version of Olympics. And that can make sense, even from the historical movies that we always get to see.
Yeah, so you do your first round of the boxing, tang, then you go another one after 2 weeks. You boxed with so-and-so, come back again, do discus. I don't know how, what was their kind of medal?
I think it was just glory and silver coins.
Silver coins?
Yes.
Something of that kind. So it started before Christ was born. Jesus came, went, and we are still playing.
Iko sawa.
Tunacheza tu bado. Okay.
All right, but with that, I think it's about time we take our first break. Stay with us. We will be back with so much more that we have lined up for you on Good Morning Kenya today.
Nissan Serena ndio hii, na unaweza kuwa wewe ndio tunapikia simu. Kodi ya Nissan Serena ni NS. alafu kisha kwenye amount ni 50 bob. Hii Nissan Serena tunakupatia na shilingi 50.
Kujiunga na QuickBid ni rahisi. Enda kwenye M-Pesa, bonyeza paybill, kisha weka business number 4032353. Kwenye account weka kodi ya bidhaa unayotaka na bidi yako ya chini zaidi. Kwa mfano TV 16, kisha weka shilingi 20 tu kama idadi yako. Weka bidi yako pia kwenye www.quickbid.co.ke. Kumbuka, bidi ya chini zaidi ya kipekee ndio hununua. QuickBid, bidhaa bora kwa bei ya chini.
Sema nyamazo, usinifanye nijute kwa nini nilikuzaa.
Mimi naota mahali lakini sipajui, lakini hapo mahali kuna sauti.
Mimi na stress zangu mimi mwenyewe. Can't you just understand me?
Make me understand. And I knew. Maya.
Utanifanya nini mama? Utanilaani? Utanitoa uhai? Uwezi.
Chini ya uongozi wa Rais Uhuru Kenyatta, serikali kuu imewekeza kwenye miradi tofauti ya maendeleo katika kaunti mbalimbali ambayo imeleta manufaa mengi kwa wakazi wa mashinani. Wiki hii kwenye Project 254,
in our different capacities, we must all work closely to tackle any challenges standing in the way of a better Kenya for our people.
Kabla poti ijagunduliwa vizuri, ijaanza vizuri, kazi ilikuwa nadra, lakini venye port ilikuwa revived, venye the president alirevive port, tukaanza kuona opportunities.
Kifika Aero Junction tulikuwa hapo na maburutano ya barabara, na tunaona kama saa hizi lami iko kabisa mpaka nje.
On this week's episode of Zurura, we head to Kenya's backyard to visit our very own Wild West. Then it's off to visit one of East Africa's most beautiful tribes who show us a thing or two about looking good. Then buckle up, lean back and get yourself ready to be whisked across one of the best viewpoints Kenya has to offer. That's all coming right up on Zurura, Find Your Adventure, only on KBC.
This is where it all began. As the mother of broadcasting in Kenya, you can trust KBC to bring you authentic news and programs to your living room. As KBC, we take pride in our unrivaled heritage as Kenya's trusted national broadcaster. Commanding over 92% digital television signal coverage of our country, 23 radio services that cut across our entire language spectrum, a national, regional and international digital presence backed by the most experienced and top-notch broadcast professionals in the industry.
A very good evening to you.
The new look Kenya Broadcasting Corporation is truly ahead of the pack. Turn to the mother of broadcasting in Kenya for stories that resonate with our identity, our aspirations as a people united in purpose. Real stories of hard work, of passion, of creativity, of big dreams. Stories that cement our nationhood. Stories that bring us together as one. We take pride in our shared heritage and destiny. KBC, informing, educating and entertaining Kenyans as one nation. KBC, Kenya's listening, Kenya's watching.
Karibu tena sana. This is Good Morning Kenya. My name is Jane Momboy. Remember, you can talk to us, check in, let us know where you're watching us from. Tuma salamu, say what's up. Anything really, positivity, good vibes, we welcome all that. Using the hashtag Good Morning Kenya on Twitter. At KBC Channel 1 is our official station handle. My handle is Jane Momboy across all the social media platforms. So as we always say, Thursday is the new Friday, and we always get to focus on the entertainment scene, and we bring you a variety of artists who are out there putting in the work, grinding and putting out their art for you to enjoy. And today it is no different. We have one gentleman with us in studio, anajita Mr. Dawa. Mr. Dawa Dawa, mambo vipi?
Poa sana.
Karibu sana.
Nashukuru.
Ndio ile kamera yako pale, salimia wa viewers, tupe your social media handles ndio watu waongee nao katika mitandao ya kijamii.
Okay, mambo vipi? Naitwa Mr. Dawa, msanii humu nchini. Pale Facebook ni search kama Mr. Dawa Dawa. Instagram pia Mr. Dawa Dawa. My YouTube channel Mr. Dawa Official. Mwanangu ingia tu pale, just subscribe my songs. Alafu bana tubarikiwa sana.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Tuanze na the name itself, Mr. Dawa Dawa. Ilitokana vipi? Ulikunywa madawa sana? Ulikuwa unapenda madawa sana? Just kidding. But what's the story behind the stage name yako Mr. Dawa?
Okay, Mr. Dawa okay, naitwa David Wanyonyi. Hilo ni jina langu hasa la kinyumbani. Lakini ile nilifupisha tu nikachukua DAWA nika Dawa.
Mr. Medicine. Kuna watu wanakutanga Mr. Medicine? Sana
naitwa Doctor, naitwa Medicine, majina yote tayari.
Kila mtu ashakupatia variation yake.
Kweli.
Muziki, how far back does it go? Ulianza muziki ukiwa kijana ama ni kitu umekuja kudiscover when you are much grown ukaona unapenda muziki? What's the story there?
Okay, muziki nimeanza kitambo. Nimeanza nikiwa mdogo. Nikiwa na miaka kama ngapi? Nikiwa na miaka 8. Ile ningeanza kujielewa. Kwa napenda kuimba nyimbo za watu sana. Kwa napenda kufuatilia wasanii wale wa kitambo wale.
Ulikuwa wale wa kuimba kwa bafu, sauti yako inakufurahisha wewe mwenyewe ama uliona wenyewe niko na kipaji?
Okay, kipaji. Okay, si unajua ile ukiimba nyimbo za watu pale unakuja na zile idea alafu unapata unaimba nyimbo kivyako, unaona? So kwa harakati nilikuwa napenda kufuatilia nyimbo za watu. Ndio nikajipata mimi ndio huyu Mr. Dawa ninaimba.
Ni msanii yupi alikuanga na kuinspire sana when you were a young boy?
Okay, zile enza kina Pepe Kale. Kina Los Mabele. Tukaja kina Wilo, tukaja tukasonga pale tukajipata sasa kizazi kipya sasa.
Yes.
Sasa nikaja kwa kizazi kipya ile inspire kabisa kwanza kuimba ni ile jamani tu Alikiba kutoka Bongo. Nilikuwa napenda sana uimbaji wake. Kwa hiyo harakati ikawa hivyo nikajipata na vibe bwana tayari ndio naachana hivi.
na ilifika wapi ukaanza kuelewa genre ipi ya muziki ambayo ungependa kufanya? Ulikuwa unataka kurap ama kuimba nyimbo za kimapenzi? Ulijidiscover vipi?
Okay, wajua unasemanga ukifuata miondoko ya mtu unajipata unaimba na miondoko yake ambayo anaimba nayo. Sasa nijipata tunaimba siku rap, nijipata naimba nyimbo za mapenzi kulingana venye ndugu yangu alikuwa anaimba. Kwa hiyo nijipata na flow na hizo vibe tayari. Sema msanii ni kioo cha jamii. Kwa hiyo naimba vitu ambavyo vinaeleweka na ambavyo vinaelimisha jamii. Yeah.
Na unaweza kumbuka nyimbo ya kwanza ambayo uliandika before you even get to do music professionally? Nyimbo za kwanza ambazo uliandika?
Nazikumbuka, lakini unajua enzi hizo bwana mambo na YouTube tulikuwa tunafuatilia, tulikuwa tunajua.
Wewe ndio ulikuwa YouTube wako?
Nilikuwa kivyangu nasikizwa mitano ndio nasema uko vizuri. Kwa hiyo tu maybe
ilikuwa inaongelea nini?
Maybe okay. Ilikuwa inaongelea tu kuhusu mapenzi, ila kuna msichana kule mitaani ilikuwa
Sasa kitu ulikuwa unapitia? Kuna kagalde mkakuka na kusumbua.
Wale nyatia sana asemi ukweli wake. Sijui kama nipenda, sijui anipenda, lakini asemi lakini uko karibu na mimi. Ideas zitoka huko. Yeah.
Na ilifika mahali uliproduce ama ilikuwa tu uliandika ukajiimbia ukajiexpress ama ilishia hapo?
Enzi ya kitambo nakumbuka 2012, 2010. Kuna jamaa anaitwa Leta One. Producer alikuwa mtandi ameanza kuebuka. Hiyo nyimbo okay nilipenda, nikaona ni nzuri, nikaenda pale studio, nikaanza nikarekodi, nikaimba. Watu wakanijua mtaani sana, mtaani kwetu sasa kule. Kanijua kuna talent hapa hivyo. Na ile chocha watu alafu na ile kitu ambacho kiko ndani yangu. nikafanya kweli. Mpaka sasa nashukuru bwana, nimefika sehemu kama hizi ambayo si rahisi bwana.
Hebu tuimbie kidogo, maybe tusikie huyu msichana alikuhangaisha vipi. Tuimbie tu kidogo.
Maybe ananipenda au maybe ananitaka, sijui.
Vic, kama wezi niimbia hivi, Victor Olo, wherever you are, if you can't sing for me like this here, pack your bags. So Baby was one of the first songs when you record, ikafanya vizuri mitaani. Ni nyimbo ipi ambayo enye uliona enyewe hii sasa imekuweka hapo nje kama msanii?
Okay, kuna nyimbo ambaye ile imekuja kabisa ikajulikana vizuri, watu wakanijua. Sasa si sehemu ya nyumbani, sehemu yote, inaitwa Leo Leo.
Leo Leo.
Hii nyimbo nilikuwa Mombasa na rafiki yangu mmoja anaitwa Dogorichi. Tuliandika naye, tukaimba naye. Sasa nyimbo ndio nilitoa Mombasa, nikajulikana na sehemu zingine nyingi ambazo watu wanajua. Kwa msanii Mr. Da yuko na ametoka na yuko sasa tayari tunamfuatilia.
Awesome. Na niko na list ya nyimbo zako hapa kadhaa, but nataka tuanze na kutoka Leo Leo. Leo Leo ni one of the recent ones.
Ni kitambo ile.
Ni kitambo kiasi.
Kama 2016 sijakosea.
Sasa baada hiyo ni gani ilifuatilia?
Sasa bwana, baada hiyo
iko ni hapo kuna story.
Baada hiyo ikaja kawa na miseo kama unavyojua. Miseo kawa na zile changamoto. Nini changamoto za hapa na pale, vitu kama hizo. Kidogo mshikaji nikaruka kwenye gospel.
Bas. Sasa tukuje hapo. Ulikuwa unafanya secular before that?
Ndio.
Ni nini ilifanya udecide kuswitch to gospel? After umefanya kibao kama hicho na msanii mwenye pia si mdogo, mkafanya ngoma poa, ikahit, ikafanya vizuri, then gospel? Kuliendaje hapo?
Okay, nitasema hivi. Kuna ile pressure ya kusukumwa. Unajua katika hii dunia kuna kitu ambacho mtu mwenyewe unapenda. Unaona ukifanya unapenda kweli wewe. Alafu kuna kitu cha kuambiliwa, unasukumwa ufanye, unasukumwa sana, unasukumwa mpaka ukona. Inabidi ufanye ili uridhishe watu roho. Lakini mwisho wa siku nimekuja nikakaa nikasema ndio Mungu yuko na nampenda Mungu sana na naimba. Okay, kuimba wimbo ni burudani, sikatai. Na ile kumwimbia Mungu pia si vibaya, ni vizuri kumwimbia Mungu. Lakini ukapata kwa uimbaji wa gospel nilikuwa niko sikuwa na ile nini sana ile
motisha.
Ile motisha. Sasa napata niko kwenye gospel lakini kwa nyumba kile siku nimekaa nasikiza secular, kila mahali ni secular. Nikaona mzee kama vipi naomba Mungu utanisamea, alafu mimi niko tu pamoja na sikuachi ila nikirudi pandiko.
Lakini ulifanya ngoma kadhaa za gospel.
Nilifanya ngoma kadhaa.
Naona ulifanya Wewe Ni Mungu. Na Unanitosha.
Ndio.
Ulifeature anyone in these two songs ama ilikuwa tu wewe kujiexpress kivyako ki gospel?
Nilifanya mimi mwenyewe. Hiyo nyimbo ya kwanza Unanitosha nilifanya na Bullet the Stunner. Alafu ile nyingine ya Wewe Ni Mungu kafanya na Nizo tu mmoja tu, jamaa mkubwa anajulikana sana. Sasa kwa hiyo harakati nifanya tu mwenyewe. Sasa ndio mwisho wa siku nikaja nikapiga break kama ya miaka kadhaa kabla nifanye hizo nyimbo, kama miaka 2 ambayo imeisha. Sasa nikasema bwana acha nijifikirie alafu nirudi katika ile gap yangu ambayo nilikuwa nataka. Sasa ndio nimelianza sasa. Nimelianza sasa ndio nafanya kweli.
Na watu ambao wanakujua wamechukuliaje hii transition yako? Ulikuwa secular, ukakuja gospel, ukafanya nyimbo 2, then sasa umerudi secular tena.
Wajua pale kwa gospel wakati nilikuwa secular, sema kweli nilikuwa na mafansi wengi kibao sana. Ile kuquit ile kidogo nikarudi gospel, watu wakadidimia. Alafu kama unavyojua jambo nzuri na baya lazima tu watu wataongea. Bana ukinenepa watu wataongea, ukikonda watu wataongea. Kama una hela watu wataongea, kama vile vile hauna hela watu wataongea. Kwa hiyo mimi sichukuli chochote. Watakaonifuata bwana tuko pamoja, watakaosepa tutafanyaje? Tutaelewa tunakitendelea hivyo hivyo.
Lose support, gain support. Ilikuwa vipi hizo transition 2 kutoka secular kwenda gospel? Kuna watu walikukubali zaidi ama wakakutoroka zaidi, na uliporudi back to secular kuna wenye walikukubali zaidi ama ndivyo watu walizidi kukutoroka?
Unajua nilipokuwa secular nilikuwa na watu wengi. Watu kwa wamenezoea hivyo. Mimi niimba secular, unaona? Haya. nikaja nikaswitch pale wa gospel. Kama unavyojua watu wako kawaida. Nikatoroka na watu. Nikabaki na watu kadhaa. Umeona, nikaona pale YouTube pale inadidimia. Akasema poa tu, nikachukulia poa. Ila tena tulivyotoka hiyo gospel ilikuwa ni secular. Na washikaji kibao wapo, na kuna ambao wanalalamika, ambao nilikuwa nao wanalalamika, nasema dawa vipi bwana, huko gospel ulikuwa unafaa sana, ila bwana nasema nini, ya maisha ni yangu, naimba chenye nataka mzee.
Maisha ni yako, kitu niko nachotaka.
Naimba chenye nataka, alafu kinachonifurahisha mimi nikiimba nasikia vizuri, maana yake ninapenda, unaona. Na mwisho wa siku chochote ambacho unapenda ndio kupeleka mbele. So long as huyo Mungu tunamwamini na tupeleka tuko kwa mbele ambapo tunataka.
Absolutely. Yeah. Na in terms of support ambayo ulikuwa unapata kwa watu wenye unaona ni kama familia yako through this all, kutoka kitambo ambapo ulikuwa kijana bado ukidiscover muziki, ukaona unaipenda, ulikuwa unapata hiyo support ya kifamilia ama watu ambao una consider kifamilia kukusaidia katika hii path ya kipaji chako?
Ndio, namshukuru sana. Kuna brazangu naitwa Johnny na sister yangu pia naitwa Cynthia. Wao walikuwa wananisupport, wanakupatia hela nenda kafanye, manake enzio siku na kitu. Wanipatia hela, nakwambia dogo enda kafanye, manake ni kitu ambacho iko ndani yangu, tumekuwa tukiona tangu zamani. Alafu kwetu usanii kwa upande wa kina mama na niko mbali sana, ila sasa mimi ndio leo nimefanya kuifuata na naipenda. Kwa hiyo nimekuwa nikipata support, ila wengine ndio part of family walikuwa wanasema ni uni. Unajua tunachukua sema unafanya nini, utaki kusoma bwana, unaimba hapa itakupeleka wapi? Ila mwisho wa siku wakati aliona akaona kule akasema ndio bwana, kumbe inaweza. Na ndio hivyo, nao pia wamekuja wamenyunga mkono.
Sasa ni supporters.
Wananipigia debe, wananiongelesha, ila najisukuma mwenyewe.
Awesome. We'd like to play one of your songs in corner. Mr. Dereko umetwekea hapo leo. This is a song that you featured. Dogorichi did it back in 2016, si ndio?
Yeah.
We get to play it before tuendelee na hii conversation right here on Good Morning Kenya. Kama una maswali yote ambayo ungependa kumuuliza, shoot them through, tutazi sample after this musical interlude.
Mimi na wewe, Vanilla Records, mimi na wewe. Sio freshi, ngoja mwanzo kava investing. Isiwe kesi, nikabadilisha t-shirti. Mambo freshi, leo nitakupeti peti. Hakuna range, leo twaenda na Bugatti. Hivyo ulivyo meshadata, ona. Sije machizi wakadata, moyo mitanyuma. Nasema sikwachi, tena leo mi sikwachi. Sema okupati, hive wote okupati. Leo nasema leo nasema nasema sitaki leo mama kupata musha tena jidai dogo ina nyingi keshi hofu dudada juamini kwa na wewe vivondo wa shaka na kumiliki mwenyewe hivyo nifameshanata ona sije machizi wakadata moyo miutaniuma sikwachi inatema sikuwachi wakupati hivyo vate wakupati leo nasema leo nasema leo nasema leo nasema She's a vizuri mama Habrisha Imbacho ndeti bacho Eya kaisukuliwa Anumehu Chunu petu Leo Nasema leo
Leo.
Yeah.
Mr. Dell featuring Dogorichi right there. Hapa niko na Nikki anauliza ni nini ilikuentai sana ukaenda gospel hivyo? I know you've talked about pressure kutoka kwa watu, but ilikuwa inakusatisfy in any way possible? Hizo nyimbo mbili ambazo uliandika za gospel.
Sikuwa naridhika, manake nilikuwa naona naimba lakini sikuwa naridhika. Yeah.
Aya, Casey anauliza ukikompare gospel na secular ni gani inaleta pesa zaidi?
Wajua ngumu ila kidogo rahisi. Wajua muziki ni kujituma. Utakavojituma ndio utakavopata. Yeah, but muziki ni muziki tu.
All right. Yeah. Now when it comes to quality ya muziki ambayo unafanya, hiyo ni area nyingine tunaona wasanii wengi they don't put as much effort as they need to make sure that ngoma zao ni quality fiti, both audio na video. Ukiangalia upcoming artist wa siku hizi, what unaweza semaje kuhusu zile muziki ambazo wanaweka out there la bado pia wana complain na wapati airplay as much as they would want, lakini quality unaona yenyewe kama msanii hata hapa umetuangusha?
Okay, unasema nini? Kitu kizuri cha jitembeza, si ndio? Wajua muziki ni kazi. Unaekeza, ukiekeza kwa muziki, yani quality ni nzuri, mtu akisikia anasema ndio bwana imeenda. Haya, video ni nzuri. Producer hata TV ikichezwa mara sehemu yote ikichezwa anasema ni video ambayo iko nzuri. Inaenda na jitembeza yenyewe. Kwa hiyo mimi nitakachosema nyinyi wasanii hapo nje bwana, mwache kulalamika, fanyeni vitu ambavyo vinaeleweka. Ekeni vitu quality. Yaani ikija hata kwenye TV station bila shaka inachezwa hata bila pingamizi. Kwa hiyo wewe kosa kuchezwa bana, hujawekeza, kosa kuwekeza mbona uchezwe? So usilalamike bana, fanya kama wewe mambo yatakuwa sawa. Mimi najaribu kadri ya uwezo wangu, maana sijafika vile viwango ambavyo nataka, ila najua nitafika viwango ambavyo nataka.
Bora you're putting in the work.
Yes, najiwekeza kabisa kivyote vile mambo yawe sawa.
All right. Na pia tumeona COVID-19 ilikuja ika just disrupt kila kitu, and especially kwa entertainment industry. Wewe kama msanii, COVID ilikuwa affect aje in terms of your planning, gigs, production, ilikuwa affect kivipi?
Wajua ile COVID ilipokuja, interview kama hizo tulikuwa tunapata. Unaona? Kitu kingine, zile show hawezi itiwa show maana kile mambo na crowd, unaona. Kwa hiyo ili affect kwa njia, ili affect wasanii wengi na pia sisi tuliathirika kwa njia kubwa sana. Yani ilikuwa hata paka jamaa kuja kushoot video anaogopa. Umeona? Manake pale kwenda kushoot video lazima mko kile crowd. Unaona vitu kama vitu vingi havikufanyika. Ila COVID ilito affect kwa njia kubwa, yani siwezi ongea. Ila nashukuru kwa sasa pale tumefikia. Mambo yanaenda vizuri na yatakuwa vizuri.
We are trying to get back to a norm. Na kama msanii ni lessons zipi ulilearn from COVID ambayo kama msanii unasema in the event pandemic nyingine ikuje haitanipata flat foot venye hii imenipata? Mipango ipi unaweka in place ndio in the event kuna issue yoyote yenye ita affect wewe kama msanii hautahangaika vile ambavyo ulihangaika this first time with COVID?
COVID imetufunza kuishi. Imetufunza kujua kuishi katika hii ulimwengu. Najua watu wengi walipoteza makazi zao. Ninasema nini, usitegemee kitu kimoja. Jiweke huku na huku. Mimi kama mimi nilifunza bwana, Mr. Dao usifanye muziki peke yake, fanya na biashara. Kwa hiyo pia nimezama kwa biashara sana. Ninafanya biashara na ninaimba. Kuja huku nimesimama imara, niko na Mungu.
Ikikuja tena at least utakuwa na kitu ya kusustain.
Ndio kabisa.
All right. Now tuambie kuhusu nyimbo yako latest kabisa before tutacheza kwanza wewe ni Mungu before we get to play your latest jam.
My latest ambayo iko na muda iko na muda kidogo, lakini my latest inaitwa Manjekewa. But after Manjekewa kuna nyingine na release kesho. Fire sana kuliko tayo Manjekewa. Ila my latest inaitwa Manjekewa ambayo nimeitoa, ni nyimbo ambayo nimeandika kwa jinsi ambayo ni mzuri na nimefanywa na producer mkubwa sana anaitwa Maximizer kutoka Bongo Tanzania, ambaye alikuwa amefanyia Diamond na Harmonize bado na Ayola yule jamaa. Kwa hiyo ni nyimbo ambayo nimefanyia kazi na hiyo ndio nyimbo ambayo nimeanza naye tangu ni quit secular. Tangu sasa pale ya secular. Tangu upande wa secular. Ni nyimbo ambayo nimeanza nayo na bila shaka iko vizuri kimimi.
Iko moto.
Iko moto.
Na hii ambayo una drop kesho ni watu wanafaa ku expect nini? Ni collabo, ni single, hashtag ipi ndio tukao tunategea kuona pale tukiona itajua ile yenye Mr. Dawa alisema jana Good Morning Kenya.
Inaitwa Namtembeza.
Namtembeza.
Ni nyimbo ambayo nimeimba, inaitwa Mduara, mambo za Uswahilini kama unavyojua. Nyimbo kali sana. Nimefanya
collabo ama ni single?
Single, nimefanya peke yangu. Nzuri sana, najua itaweza. Pia bado nimefanya na Maximizer Audio. Na hiyo video nimefanywa na Bullet the Stunner.
Awesome.
Ila ni kali.
Ni audio ama video na drop?
Ni video na drop kesho saa 1 usiku. Ile pale saa 1 usiku bwana kwenye YouTube tukutane pale bwana, support Mr. Dawa mazee. Nipe subscribe mazee. Mr. Dawa zafu share tafadhali, unajua? Hapa ndio mambo yote bwana, naongea na mamilioni ya watu. Kwa hiyo mimi nawategemea nyinyi watu wangu bwana. Kesho tukutane pale kwenye YouTube channel. Subscribe, share, mwanangu view, yani like, vyovyote vile mazana pige comment kama kawa. Najua itakuwa sana, nashukuru support yote mazee.
Awesome. Tukifunga hii conversation, I like that tumeshaambia mafans wa kusupport, wa subscribe. Tuambie YouTube account inaitwa vipi, ya social media handles waweze kukupata kivipi ndio waweze kukusupport in all the ways that they possibly can.
Okay. Pale YouTube just search naitwa Mr. Dawa. Okay, my YouTube channel inaitwa Mr. Dawa Official. Mr. Dawa Official, ukiingia pale utanipata tu Mr. Dawa, search my songs, subscribe, nituko vizuri. Pale kwenye Facebook naitwa Mr. Dawa. Pia pale kwenye Facebook na ile Facebook account ndio pia Mr. Dawa. Ingia tu pale tupige story mwanangu. Ingia kokote kula, niko kila sehemu. Tupige pale kwa Instagram naitwa Mr. Dawa bado. Na hizo ndio sehemu ambazo napatikana ndugu zanguni. Tafadhali njooni kwa tupige story Mr. Dawa. Tusaidiane kwa mapana marefu na ile najua kila kitu kitakuwa poa.
Awesome.
Hapa ndio mpango mzima bwana KBC. Good morning, I say na appreciate sana bwana.
Thank you so much for coming through. Director Onga ananiambia amepitia video yako Majekewa na akasema hii hatuwezi cheza hii asubuhi. Watoto wana watch, but iko pale YouTube. You can check his official YouTube account, that is Mr. Dawa Official. Iko hapo. Mnazaenda kuicheki, but ile tutawachezea Wewe ni Mungu. This is Wewe ni Mungu by Mr. Dawa ushering out of this interview. Thank you so much for coming through. We appreciate it.
Nashukuru pia mimi na appreciate sana, na appreciate KBC, na appreciate sana wewe.
Thank you.
Wengine wote hapa bwana. Yaani asanteni sana kwa kunileta hapa. Maana najua ni wengi wanatamani kufika leo hajafika. Ila asante sana, nashukuru sana.
Shukran. Keep doing the amazing work.
Asante, nashukuru.
Aya, tuimbie Wewe ni Mungu as director, cheze kama yeye, atufedishe huko hivi, ufanye kenye unafanyanga huko Mr. Fazili.
Oh, ni Mungu. Ukweli ni Mungu. Oh, ni Mungu. Acheni aitwe Mungu. Oh, ni Mungu. Ukweli ni Mungu. Oh, ni Mungu. Acheni aitwe.
Mungu asiye na ila, umpa mtu kwa wakati, kanionyesha na dira, wapi isi wapi wesi. Mungu asiye na ila, umpa mtu kwa wakati, kanionyesha na dira, wapi isi wapi wesi. Kama liniumba, kaniumba na riziki, sofi madira, na ndimi za wanafiki. Yo mbali na pumzi na upendo kanidavika, kwake sina budi, roho yangu kaitakasa. Oh Baba, oh wendo masia, oh Baba, oh wendo masia, oh ni Mungu, ukweli ni Mungu. Oh ni Mungu, acheni aitwe Mungu. Oh ni Mungu, ukweli ni Mungu. Oh ni Mungu, acheni aitwe Mungu. Jina lake lanitosha, wepo wake ni baraka, yeye kwangu namba moja. Jina lake lanitosha, wepo wake ni baraka, yeye kwangu namba moja. Yani ni majivuno mwanadamu na pumzi umepewa free. Usijisahau
get the VIP access to the best shows on KBC Channel 1. We have something different, something special to spice you up. Get ready for new, exciting and captivating dramas. Movies.
I love the smell.
Comedy.
I went to the purpose.
Drama.
Will he assault the queen in my house, in my presence?
News, sports and so much more. Do the things that make you happy on KBC Channel 1.
Nissan Serena ndio hii, na unaweza kuwa wewe ndio tunapikia simu. Kodi ya Nissan Serena ni NS, alafu kisha kwenye amount ni 50 bob. Hii Nissan Serena tunakupatia na shilingi 50.
Kujiunga na QuickBid ni rahisi. Enda kwenye M-Pesa, bonyeza paybill kisha weka business number 4032353. Kwenye account weka kodi ya bidhaa unayotaka na bid yako ya chini zaidi. Kwa mfano TV 16. Kisha weka shilingi 20 tu kama idadi yako. Weka bid yako pia kwenye www.quickbid.co.ke. Kumbuka, bid ya chini zaidi ya kipekee ndio hununua. QuickBid, bidhaa bora kwa bei ya chini.
Tena nyamazo, usinifanye nijute kwa nini nilikuzaa.
Mimi naota mahali lakini sipajui, lakini hapo mahali kuna sauti. Mimi na stress zangu mimi mwenyewe. Can you just understand me?
Make me understand. And I knew. Maya.
Utanifanya nini mama? Utanilaani? Utanitoa uhai? Uwezi.
On this week's episode of Zurura, we head to Kenya's backyard to visit our very own Wild West. Then it's off to visit one of East Africa's most beautiful tribes who show us a thing or two about looking good. Then buckle up, lean back and get yourself ready to be whisked across one of the best viewpoints Kenya has to offer. That's all coming right up on Zurura, Find Your Adventure, only on KBC.
From my father's house to the land I will show you. Oh God, give me the strength to do what I must.
Abraham, do not harm your child. For now I know that you fear God, seeing that you've not withheld your son.
I thought today ulisema we are taking white chocolate.
Utakula ile kitu iko kwa hii nyumba. Unasikia? Baba Joyce. Sutulie. Mtoto akajakaa chini akakunywa uji, unaanza na kelele.
Anavaa kama Dolila ni mtu mzima.
What's from breakfast?
Uji again. I can't keep taking that.
Lakini mimi nataka wewe uvumilie tu. Baada ya hii kesi ndahakikisha tumemwarudisha Nairobi.
I just miss home.
Umekuja kutafuta nini huku? Na unadhani unaenda wapi?
Come here to see my nephew and niece, and furthermore I have some goodies for them.
Wacha kunionyesha hizi vitu.
Musa, you need to give me some respect. I'm your aunt and that will never change. I'm sorry that you cannot stomach me. But guess what? Huku ni kwetu.
Rudi penye umetoka.
it's not the other way around. All right, we are here, and the voice in the background is Daktari himself. Welcome to the program. This is Entertainment Thursday. Of course, you're watching Good Morning Kenya with me, Victor Low, and in studio, let's talk about the entertainment industry in general, and the keyword is how to sanitize the whole industry. And the best man to help us steer that debate is Dr. Ezekiel Mutua, who is the CEO of the Kenya Film and Classification Board. Right now, we want to talk about the entertainment industry and everything that we need to know about it. Daktari, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
You're a busy man.
Yeah, I've just come from Mombasa because of this program.
Thank you for honoring.
In the afternoon, we're in St. Paul's University for their career day.
Yes.
We are talking to the young people there in the afternoon. We come from Mombasa. We had a huge meeting with the Stima Circle.
Yes.
And a conference to empower their people and the circles to manage them well.
Yes.
We were talking about issues of moral values, integrity, and so on. Yeah. So we are trying to create a national conversation.
Yes.
About moral values, because we firmly believe that there is no nation that can develop without a moral foundation.
Yes.
Now, the biggest challenge we have in Kenya today is the breakdown of our moral values.
Yes.
And this is aided largely by the media, by the entertainment industry, by the creative industry, because a lot of young people pick their models from the people they see on TV, from the music they listen to. The parents are not as available as they used to be. Everybody is busy trying to eke out a living. We wake up early, we go home late. We are in a roller coaster to try and eke out a living. In the process, the role of the parent is diminishing. And then the societal structures that used to solidify the upbringing of a child, you know, the grandparents, the community, and so on.
Yes.
We are also losing grip in those societal structures. And now a child is on their own. They are brought up by the TV, by the house help, by the internet. And in the process, we are sitting on a time bomb.
Yes.
Where kids have lost it, where society has lost its values. And if we do not do something right now to create a national conversation about values,
exactly,
a sense of right and wrong. It's not about religious dogma or you know, people getting saved or this. You know, people confuse it. It's just a sense of being decent, being a good person, being patriotic, working hard, appreciating and being content with what you have, and learning to eat from the sweat of your brow. Just the decent basic manners of saying I'm sorry, thank you if somebody helps you, saying excuse me. Those things have disappeared from our conversations. And what we have now is people wanting to amass more wealth and wealth, people wanting to grab things, people wanting to have their way or their highway, and where the weak are on their own, the society where we used to care for the poor, the society where we used to reach out to the less fortunate, and share with them and support them. Those values that make a society care for the needy. If somebody is a disabled or a pregnant mother, you can support them, assist them. Now everybody wants to be the first on the queue, and those are the things. Now when you look at it and our education system and the challenges we are facing, you realize that our problem is not corruption. Corruption is just an outcome of our bad manners. And like William Wilberforce said, I think the duty of some of us, like myself, is to really sort out the manners of men, particularly in the entertainment industry.
That reminds me way back in university where we were being told that manners maketh a man. Learn to say thank you, excuse me, and I'm sorry. When you have these three words, it can stop the entire universe from collapsing. Doctor, let me ask you.
You can say that again. Please repeat that statement.
Manners maketh a man. When you have three words, sorry, thank you, and excuse me, these three words can stop the whole world from collapsing.
There you are.
Let me ask you this question. Is it the right time we start talking about our moral standing as a society?
We're actually late. We should have done this a long time ago.
What do you mean?
Yes, we didn't see it coming. And I think it's lack of leadership in so many levels.
Right.
from family to the communities to the religious sector, institutions of learning. We lost our moral bearing a long time ago. And to go back and shape the values of a grown man when he has lost the moral integrity.
It's difficult.
Very difficult.
It's difficult.
It says it's easier to model a child than to repair a broken man.
Even the Bible says.
Okay? Spare the rod, spoil the child. Exactly. And teach the child the way they should go while they are young. And those when they grow up, structured of Sunday school, parents sitting or grandparents and aunties and grandmothers sitting with their children by the fireplace. There used to be those cultural issues. There used to be playgrounds. There used to play
an important role in upbringing of a society.
Completely, because it's not just the role of the parent. You know, parent is one thing, and the parental role is the most critical. But there is community, there is government, there is institutions of learning, there is the role of religious institutions, but more importantly, the industry itself. Because we got to a point after liberalization of the media industry, from 1992, the early 90s, when the clamor for multipartyism came, it came with also a push for liberalizing the media industry. So that we moved from KBC being Baba na Mama, Voice of Kenya as it was then, to a situation where more radio stations came up, more TV stations came up, gutter press came. With the culture of ending cause. They can pick you because somebody has been paid money to tarnish your name, and they publish anything about it. Then we moved now to the era of mobile telephony.
And digital
new
now.
Phenomena.
Digital news.
Now we moved to digital.
Exactly.
And in 2015, I was Secretary of Information when I worked with the Cabinet Secretary, C.S. Matiang'i, in the Ministry of ICT to push for digital migration with expanded spectrum. All these things brought in a flurry of content, new cultures, foreign ideologies, bombarded our kids with all manner of freedoms that they never used to enjoy. And they found content that tells them it's okay to defy a parent. It's okay to engage in violence. You don't sort out your problems by sitting down and calling wazes or calling other people to handle your dispute. If somebody messes you up, you kill them. And the language of you talked about sanitizing. Now this one is normalizing. This is what the media does. It normalizes bad behavior. So like you watch a film and it's for kids 10, 13, and it's the language I'll kill you.
Doctor, that's what
it has the language that I will kill you. You know, PlayStations. So you find kids sitting on a carpet like this, and they're saying, shoot, bring him down now. Shoot, you're missing an opportunity. Kill. And they normalize that language. So in the process, then nudity. You know, music. Look at some of the content that we watch in the afternoon or during the day. Nudity, obscenity, bad language. Musicians puffing on air, and then these are the celebrities that our kids are looking up to. They become their role model.
But actually, some would argue that is art.
No,
art is dynamic. You can.
My friend, art is supposed to promote the dominant values of the community. Our dominant values is not to get into a studio like here smoking. That's not our dominant value. You don't do that. There are regulations here. Those are the dominant values. So when a musician appears on TV puffing during watershed period, what are they teaching our kids who are at home alone? And there's nobody to tell them that program is not suitable for you. Okay? They're telling them that smoking is cool. There's something they call cool. And when they see these mannerisms that they consider cool from celebrities, from socialites, who are painted to be successful when they're not. Somebody who is just showing their body, nothing else, is given more airtime on your show than a professor of a university who is dealing with innovations. So what you're promoting is the abnormal. The normal has become the abnormal, and the abnormal is the normal. In the process, we got it warped and twisted, and where we are right now, we are sitting on a time bomb. So what has happened? We are producing leaders who are corrupt. We are producing parents who are unable to handle the role of a parent. People have no resilience. People don't know how to play in a team. People don't know how to work hard and earn or be content with the little that they have. We are teaching kids that even there's a model that's considered to be beautiful,
right,
and not. So if a girl is slender and tall, so if you are plumpy, you feel you are ugly.
Yeah.
And some of them even objectify women.
Yes, Doctor. Let me.
So this is what content does. It sets the agenda. It normalizes things, and when you keep repeating, this is a culture of marketing. If you know marketing, it's just a flash of seconds, but repeating it again and again.
It gets into the head.
Even about 21 exposures.
Yes.
The moment you see 21 exposures of the same thing, something saying Imara kama Simba, and the beer is painted in a way to make you look like cool when you are taking it, or it gives you extra energy. A kid with impressionable mind, a kid is up to 18 in Kenya. There could be cognitive developmental changes that could define now what a kid is, and we're trying to do that, even in terms of ratings, whether it is PG-13 or 10. But different times call for different evaluation of the cognitive development of a child. However, a child is a child. A child is impressionable. They imitate.
Right.
They see, they say, there's a saying, manges see, manges do.
do.
That's what kids are. And the kids are the most treasurable asset we have, resource we have. It is not our money, it's not our minds, it's not our land. It is our children, and the cultures and the values that we inculcate in them.
Doctor, what is moral for you? Because the society as it is, what you've just talked about, your office is mandated to make sure that whatever is being aired on a national television like this one is completely acceptable across the board.
Yes.
What is moral to you?
Moral is a code of human behavior, an acceptable code of human behavior. I always say this.
Yes.
As we are here, there's something that naturally makes us, you ask a question, I answer.
Right.
It's decency.
And I'm asking that question because in a creative, just a minute, in a creative industry, the word moral and creative creates a very thin line. When you say somebody's creating a music video, puffing and all that, and they say that is cool. So what is moral and what is...
That's why there is a principle called the watershed period principle.
Right.
We are not saying that puffing is wrong. We are saying when you bring it at the wrong time, particularly where kids are involved or kids are watching or are likely to be listening, you normalize smoking and puffing as cool. That's what I'm saying to kids.
Right.
The principle of watershed says that between 5 in the morning to 10 in the evening, content that is aired during that period should be suitable for family viewing and listening. Okay, from 5 in the morning, it is in the law.
Right.
So when people bring nudity, bad language, programs that are of adult nature, explicit content during the day, they are breaking the law. And this is a question I'm asking. So forget about morality, because that is relative.
Yes.
What is moral to you may not be moral to me.
Right.
What about the law? If the law says thou shalt not steal, don't steal. If the law says do not show obscene content or adult content during the day, do not show adult content.
Is that why you're fighting for? Is that why you're fighting for clean content?
That's why. Not only that, but obeying the law. If we can create the culture of obeying the law, okay, just promote that culture. Don't show adult content, explicit content to our kids during the day. Show it after 10. If you want to bring discussions that talk about sex and other issues that are of adult nature, bring them after the watershed period.
Right.
That's what we are saying. So this issue of actually talking about morality, you're being simplistic because it tends to make it then look like it's somebody prescribing it for us.
Yes.
There are rules. And this is the problem with artists in Kenya. Artists do not want to follow the law. Okay? Everybody else, the carpenter in Langata, the guy running a tea kiosk by the roadside, knows that they must reckon with the NEMA, they must reckon with the Minister of Health, and they must have a permit to operate their kiosk, to run their carpentry. The Juakali artisans, everybody, even the ones who are not educated. But our artists who know better, or should know better, want to operate in an environment without the law. And this is a challenge.
Why, Doctor? Because your office is mandated to streamline that industry.
You know, the law alone is not enough, and that's why I'm happy that I'm here.
Yes.
Because we need to create a conversation so that parents can say no, religious institutions can say no, institutions of learning can say no. This debate of moral values can be in the corporate boards, boardrooms, can be in the mosque, in the pulpit. We want it to be a national conversation. Because if you leave it to Ezekiel Mutua or Kenya Film Classification Board or the government, it will not work. This is a serious issue of morality. And you cannot legislate on morality, but you can talk about morality, and you can be able to create a national conversation. Because I always say a country is not just a geographical territory. A country is people living together with agreed values or shared values, cultures and beliefs. And we have chosen ourselves that nudity is not our culture. Now you may say what is nude and how far.
Exactly.
Okay.
Depending on why you see, how you see it. Right.
But we know there is somebody who can walk here and you feel, no, this is not right.
You must be having some rough patches with the artists in Kenya.
I mean, why? I mean, I'm doing my own business. I'm a CEO like another CEO. I'm doing my own business and enjoying.
Do you feel any kind of pressure? Are you hated and loved in equal measure?
Life is not about being loved or hated, and I don't care, by the way, if I'm it's about doing what is right. You see, I'm a regulator.
Yes.
I'm a regulator, and a regulator, the work of a regulator, my brother, is not to be popular. It's to do what is right. A regulator is not an entertainer. I'm not out to entertain these characters. I'm out to tell them stick to the law. I'm like a traffic police.
That's why they call you moral
police.
Cop. That's why they call you moral cop.
Yeah, that's why they call me the moral cop.
Right. Yes.
I think it was supposed to be a slide, but I took it in my stride. Look at it this way. The traffic cop at the roundabout out here is not there to police motorists. If he flags you and stops you, you park aside and you allow him to check your car.
Yes.
It is decency, it is the law. It doesn't matter how small that policeman, traffic police officer is, whether male or female. And you don't have to like him. He has stopped you because while your car may be okay, there could be another person who is having somebody kidnapped in the boot. It is for your own good to obey that traffic police officer.
But you see, Daktari, at the same time, even me as a motorist, probably sometimes you can put a police officer on the right side. So somebody will say that in the process of you discharging a mandate as a moral cop, some artists would argue that you are squeezing the industry.
No, let me first finish. You know, I'll deal with what is important, right? And not, I am not here to promote non-issues. Yes, some of those talks are baseless. And if you have gone to school, like I have, then you respect education and intellectual discourse.
Yes.
So that the statements that we are making, because we are following, and I told my people to watch, there are issues that will add value to the conversations.
Absolutely.
And even help our artists.
Absolutely.
If we go by what they say, they will never learn. Because some of the things they say are not true. I was telling you the traffic police, and that's the role we play as KFCB. The traffic police role is to ensure the safety and smooth flow of traffic for your own good. Otherwise, we'll never flow. If you leave Kenyans to their own devices, they will close the road.
Right.
They will block each other. So the traffic police ensures smooth flow. And you don't hate him for doing that. You don't hate him for stopping you, even if you think your car is okay. Because one of these days, it may not be okay, and you could be the one in danger. That's what a regulator does. Let me give you the example of Kenya Bureau of Standards. This water that you are offering me here, the only reason I can take it comfortably, I can take a soda in a kiosk, I can buy a drink in a supermarket and take comfortably. Because there's a government agency called the Kenya Bureau of Standards that vets. Otherwise, left on their own devices, unscrupulous business people will put
things will go south, right,
and sell it to you. Government exists to regulate for you, to ensure that you are safe. And an industry as important as the media, art, and entertainment cannot be left to the culture of anything goes, where people do what they want. No rules, no regulations, and the people want to say they're being squeezed. Let me come to your question now. Let me tell you, there is no agency in Africa as lenient as KFCB. Check what is happening to Wakita in Tanzania. They have there's no love lost between Wakita and the Tanzanian artists. They shut Wasafi for 6 months just the other day. They have, I think, condemned Diamond Platinum to jail, and they have banned his music. Go to Nigeria.
And you also banned him in Kenya.
Go to Nigeria. No. I mean, here in Kenya, we only said don't play his music in school.
Right.
Keep his music to clubs and discotheques.
Okay.
That's what we said. Our statements are still there. But look, it was banned in Tanzania. His music sells more in Kenya than in Tanzania. Okay, because we have allowed that kind of language and that kind of culture, and our role model and the people we celebrate are the ones who are crazy, are the ones who can dress, who can badly, who can say nasty things, who can code language and push sexualized content to our kids and on TV. And so Wasafi comes or Diamond comes with coded language, you know, Kwangwaru.
Yeah.
But and our kids were,
if the director has that song,
our kids,
can that song be played?
It can't play. It is not suitable for Watershed.
Thank you.
The thing is,
said no.
When you look at Kwangwaru, it is coded language. But at least look at the lyrics. You can Google them and analyze them here. Wataka maji ya kisima na huku umesimama. Hebu tuonyeshe utachotaje. When you look at the deeper meaning, it is obscenity. Obscenity. It is sexualized language. It's like reading some books we used to see when we were young, called after 4:30, that we used to read under the desks when we were into mischief.
Yes.
And we knew if a teacher catches you reading that book, you are done.
Yes.
This is what is happening today. That we are allowing ourselves to normalize these kind of things, to normalize our kids to utter F words, to normalize our kids to curse, because it is being done by celebrities. And then we tell them Diamond has so many following. His song has so many, views.
Yes.
And our kids are now into the culture of views and likes on social media. You know, I was listening to a song, and you must have heard the bit about the song that was pulled down. I'm sure it has, I'm told it has been reinstated.
Yeah.
And the concern of the musician was it has 3 million views. Okay? Now a kid looks at that, they think it is even 3 million shillings. It is just views. It's people views, and some of the reasons why these views are there and they go up is because music is sexualized, or it has content that is inappropriate. It is like some of these newspapers that you see. There are nude photos, some of them on Fridays, like today. Yes, you find in a family paper.
Yes,
there's an insert. You look at it and you wonder, what are we becoming as a society? So the reason why we are squeezing, if we are squeezing, we are only trying to say, please follow the law.
Please follow the law.
There is no other way we can progress. No nation can progress without following the law.
Daktari, allow me to follow the law and go on for a break.
Please do.
Just allow me to follow the law and go on a break.
Thank you.
Wow. I feel like I'm being lectured right now.
You're in school. I will teach you.
I feel like I'm being lectured.
Yes.
My director says that he's going back to school. Okay, we are with Dr. Ezekiel Mutua, the moral cop. He's being called so. And do you know they're being called Assistant Jesus? On a light note, though.
It's blasphemous, but you know, there's a sense in which.
On a light note,
that's fine. Yeah,
absolutely. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we still have that conversation with Daktari. Let's ask him what is the progress of the industry, and that beef with Eric Omondi. Are you friends?
No.
Are you friends?
If you bring Eric Omondi, walk out of your studio.
No, Daktari. No. Let's talk about
it. Not my time. You bring it. I'm serious. Just
no. It's not around.
Yeah. No. I don't talk about non-characters, non-descript characters. I have more business to do. There are more important issues to discuss. So don't bring that one.
More important issues.
Bring
to
it,
go on a break.
And I will go to do other things.
We'll be right back. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Be sure, check out for a KDIC sticker in your banking hall. KDIC, protecting your deposits.
Haya! Mtumishi! Allah! Nissan Serena ndio hii. Na unaweza kuwa wewe ndio tunapikia simu. Kodi ya Nissan Serena ni NS. alafu kisha kwenye amount ni 50 bob. Hii Nissan Serena tunakupatia na shilingi 50.
Kujiunga na QuickBid ni rahisi. Enda kwenye M-Pesa, bonyeza paybill kisha weka business number 4032353. Kwenye account weka kodi ya bidhaa unayotaka na bidi yako ya chini zaidi. Kwa mfano TV 16. Kisha weka shilingi 20 tu kama idadi yako. Weka bidi yako pia kwenye www.quickbid.co.ke. Kumbuka, bidi ya chini zaidi ya kipekee ndio hununua. QuickBid, bidhaa bora kwa bei ya chini.
Quiero amarte de una forma diferente, de otro modo.
Ask her where she was the day when her agent died. Expose her to doubt and let's see her reaction. Then you will realize if what Eloisa and I were thinking is crazy or not.
I found the memory card from Gustavo's camera.
Don't worry about it. The lawyer is posting his bail.
Sure, that's correct. Because I'm the son that you never wanted. And that's why he never bothered to know me, Mom. But you know what? Don't buy the car. It's okay.
Because your wife was my mother's murderer, that's why. And that's the truth.
Quiero amarte de una forma diferente, de otro modo, nunca igual al de otra gente.
Chini ya uongozi wa Rais Uhuru Kenyatta, serikali kuu imewekeza kwenye miradi tofauti ya maendeleo katika kaunti mbalimbali ambayo imeleta manufaa mengi kwa wakazi wa mashinani. Wiki hii kwenye Project 254,
in our different capacities, we must all work closely to tackle any challenges standing in the way of a better Kenya for our people.
Kabla port ijagunduliwa vizuri, ijaanza vizuri, kazi ilikuwa nadra. Lakini venye port ilikuwa revived, venye the president alirevive port, tukaanza kuona opportunities.
Kifika Aero Junction tulikuwa hapo na maburutano ya barabara na tunaona kama saa hizi lami iko kabisa mpaka nje.
Sooner or later, we will tell the whole world we are Qingqi royals.
You have made our whole family a laughing stock and embarrassed us. Are you so unaware you're a princess?
I see. Attack me when your son's gone.
You can't eliminate Prince Chin just because you want to.
Sorry, Majesty. I was just kidding.
Kidding.
Kulia pole. Unajua mimi tu ukisema tu maneno ya mama, unanikumbusha pia mimi mama yangu.
Unanitolea shilingi 10 ya 20 shillings hadi hii ni ya kunichangia. Una ujinga.
Wanapigana mbele ya watu wakiomboleza.
Wanapigana.
Zile ng'ombe zilechinjwa kule. Ni wewe. Si ni mimi. Ni wewe.
Wewe.
Ile suti nilenunua ni mimi. Si ndio ni wewe. Ni wewe.
Sasa yeye ni ngamia ukamuita, yani na nundu yake ukasema hata si hapa nyuma, nundu yake ni hapa mbele. Hivyo ndio ulisema, ndio akasirika.
Na hata malaika ngabulenda kakuja sinjafanya what. Huyu ndio ma what.
All right, the conversation, we are just having some fun here with the Daktari, saying that Anyway, I'll tell you that later in the program. The discussion is completely fire. I don't know what Jane has on social media. Jane, what do you have on that end? Some response on the magic wall?
Yes, we do have some responses coming in. The hashtag that you need to be on right now is Good Morning Kenya. Let me just open a fresh page for you right there. This is what is actually going on. But let me just sample some of what we have received so far using the hashtag Good Morning Kenya. We start with Muchi Muchi and Auliza, what programs are there for the young upcoming content creators to ensure they can produce content? Maybe some bit of guidance around what can they produce when it comes to palatable content.
Probably Doctor can respond to that one. Yes,
absolutely. And the government is doing a lot. As you know, right now under the new structure of government, the Minister of ICT is also the Minister of Innovations and Youth Affairs. That all those departments are under one roof. And the reason why ICT was merged with Innovations and Youth Affairs is because that's where our children are. So there's quite a lot of programs from Kazi Mtaani to the stimulus package that was given to support the industry during COVID-19. Quite a lot of programs that are going on under the Minister of ICT, Innovations and Youth Affairs. And when you look at the amount of money that the government has given to the programs related to youth, especially in the area of innovations, it's enormous. The policies are also being harmonized right now under CS Musheru. We are trying to relook at the law that governs the creative industry, for example, to ensure that we balance between development and regulation, so that it's not just heavy on one side, and therefore we are now repealing Cap 222 and merging Kenya Film Commission and Kenya Film Classification Board under one law called the Kenya Film Act. Actually now the bill is I think before cabinet, and a lot of effort is being put to ensure that there is actually a balance between regulation and development, but there is more focus in identifying and nurturing talent. Absolutely. You look at what we are doing as KFCB. 3 years ago, we entered an MOU with the Minister of Education to be the main partners in the Kenya National Drama and Film Festival. Starting from the ECD to all the way to university, to ensure that we identify and nurture talent while promoting moral responsibility among the artists. And the whole idea was to be able to nurture these talents while they are young, to tell them content does not have to be dirty. You can be creative, but in a manner that's acceptable. You can be creative, but in a manner that builds our moral values. That an artist is such an important asset, and art is such an important tool for cultural transformation.
You portray what's happening
and you
in
have the
society.
power because of your creativity. Music nourishes the soul. You can watch a film and you feel you have learned something. And therefore all these programs pushed together under the Ministry of ICT, Innovations and Youth Affairs. So many programs that are helping the youth. We under that program we have supported the Kenya National Drama and Film Festival Secretariat,
which is doing amazingly well, because when you go to the drama festivals, you see young kids in primary school trying to come up with sitcoms.
As KFCB, we started 3 years ago. We acquired Nairobi Cinema, now called Nairobi Film Center, right in the CBD, to provide a platform for young people to showcase their talent at very minimal cost, almost for free. And we realized because the others, National Theatre and Leons and others, it was expensive. And they're a bit out of town, we wanted right within the CBD where somebody can walk in and watch a film, walk in and show their content. So the whole idea about government and collaboration between ourselves, Kenya National Theatre or Kenya Cultural Center as it is, with the Kenya Film Commission, Communications Authority of Kenya, all of us working together to identify those programs. And as we do so, ensure that we shape the values of our artists, give them skills, give them business entrepreneurship. Let them be able to understand that art is business. Talanta ni pesa. Talanta ni kazi. And using their talent, they can make money. So there's been a lot of hype where people have a lot of views on YouTube, but it's not translating to money. How can we translate this hype? Some of the most popular artists that you have spoken about in this program, how can we ensure that really they're making money and they're able to employ more youth and they're able to grow their studios and grow their entertainment industry? industry. This is what we are doing, and the ministry under CS Musheru is doing quite a lot to ensure that we progress this agenda.
Maybe, Jane, if you have got more reviews on that end, response.
Yes, we definitely do. Let's move on to Lawrence Kitema saying it is our collective responsibility to ensure that children are not exposed to harmful film and broadcast content. So let us protect our future generation. We have El Majewa saying, take advantage of the youth to do great things. And of course, this comes with the guidance that you offer from the commission. There is Okama Senior. He's asking, why is he having a petty grudge with Eric Omondi?
And the subject itself is petty, not what they're talking about.
Ayabasi. We move on to the next one. We have Examiner Jadson who's saying, first, aombe msamaha kwa wasanii wote, and second, let him draft ways to support young upcoming artists like me. Ata pesa za kurekod huangori sana.
Dr. What can you say about that? That's a good point.
Let me hear it again.
Take it again for you?
Yes, take it again, please. Yeah.
This is Examiner Jadson saying, first, aombe msamaha kwa wasanii wote, and secondly, let him draft ways to support young upcoming artists like me. Ata pesa ya kurekod huangori sana.
Oh yeah, you know, ignorance is not defense. I told you.
Yeah.
The person, the Njuakali artisan in Gekomba, knows the laws he has to follow. The young person doing carpentry in Langata, they are also young.
Yeah.
They are also Kenyans. They deserve to be treated with respect and supported and subjected to equal legal legislative framework. Who taught these artists they are God's gift to the world and that they can operate without any law? There are no apologies. In fact, we are being too lenient to them. And that time is coming. We are on it right now.
Yeah.
What we are doing right now is to sanitize. And the sanitizing of the industry will be tough, blunty, and very painful. I can only promise them rougher time than they have ever had. Look at it this way. You know, to do a video music in Kenya, you're supposed to submit it for examination and classification.
For review, first of all, yeah.
Do you know they don't do that? And it is in the law. If I decided to arrest the entire bunch of anybody who has done a video for not having a license, a filming license, and for not submitting the songs for examination and classification, there would be no jail to put them. We are just being lenient and talking, and when we talk, they start this nonsensical stuff that we are being tough on them. Apologize too. For what? There are rules to be followed, and artists will follow them. As long as I'm CEO of KFCB, I had something that they can remove me. If they can, let them do it quickly, because they are headed for rougher times. So no apologies, and we are not going to negotiate with the criminals. If anybody is talented, let them also know that they are supposed to follow the law.
There is just
let me explain that so that they understand. The definition of film in the Films and Stage Plays Act is audiovisual, anything audiovisual.
Yes.
So if you are doing anything audiovisual, you are supposed to, one, to obtain a filming license, and number two, when you do the content, you bring it for examination and classification. Okay. If you are not doing that, you can make noise as long as you want. We don't listen to the noise, and I told you, a regulator is not there to be loved. It's not a love affair. Follow the law and you'll be fine. I'm like a traffic police. If I find your car has no insurance, don't say I hate you or apologize to you. Apologize for what? The traffic policeman wants you to be safe on the road. The traffic policeman wants you not to endanger the lives of other motorists. So it's not a love affair. And there's nothing to apologize. These are ignorant people who need to be helped. And I wish we can help them by not pandering into the misconception that they are more special than the carpenter in Langata or the boy running a tea kiosk.
Perhaps we go to Jane. Jane, if you have got more feedback and response questions.
Yes, we do. We left off at Examiner. We move on to Eunice Cherubet, who's saying, having these three words, just echoing what you guys were talking about a bit earlier on. Excuse me, I am sorry, and thank you can really rescue the world. from crashing, okay? Just agreeing with what you were saying. Then there's improving incomes, who's brought in a very sensitive angle to this whole conversation. And now this touches on even the transport industry and the kind of content that they also play in this matatus, because here he asks, what do you regulate if all matatus are playing sexual videos here in Nairobi? Does this also fall under your mandate when it comes to sanitizing the entertainment scene?
Absolutely. You know, the public service transport sector, or PSVs, public service vehicles, they are not broadcasting houses. They were not supposed to be radio stations or TV stations. But some of them, because of entertaining passengers, they mounted TV screens or screens that exhibit unrated content. Now, those screens should be brought down, all of them. So there are two choices they have. Remove those screens, because they are not, a PSV is not a broadcasting station, it's not a TV station. They are not licensed as broadcasters. So they have mounted them illegally. They did it for purposes of entertaining the passengers. If they choose so, then they must now comply with the laws governing the entertainment industry, which means they have to bring the content for rating. And because public service transport operates day and night, and it is not, there are no vehicles for adults and there are no vehicles for children. A parent will get into a matatu with their children, and then they find pornography exhibited in a vehicle. We are saying then the content played in PSVs must be suitable for family viewing.
Doctor, who is supposed to monitor that?
It's me, it's us, it's police, it's everybody.
Right.
It's the parents. People should, members of the public should report to us. If you see a matatu playing dirty content, or there is no license from KFCB for exhibiting that content, then you bring it to our attention. We can't be everywhere. We don't have that capacity. I wish we had, but we don't have that capacity to be everywhere. So what we are saying is the matatu industry, and you know, and Kenyans know, that there is no industry that has run amok like the matatu industry. The catch of matatu industry is actually a catch of defiance, and you know it. So if the moment you allow them now to exhibit pornographic content, and the kids are spending their time there, our kids, some of the kids don't go to school. The ones in day school, they just get into the matatus.
They call us every day. They interact with these people every single day.
They're being given pornography. They're being treated to pornography, and this is the same culture that goes with drugs, illicit drugs, and so on. It is a culture of crime. It is a culture that is not arrested. If we don't do something, actually we are breeding crime, and we are encouraging a situation where in the future it will be very difficult for government.
From where you sit in your office, Daktari, does this really worry you?
It does. That's why I'm here this early in the morning. This is why we have this national conversation.
Yes.
This is why I'm relentless. This is why I'm not apologetic to people who don't understand the law, because it's not my duty to help them with their ignorance. We are creating a national conversation, but we are saying from the president to the ministers to CEOs like us, we all must follow the law. If you are an artist, follow the law. If you are a journalist, follow the law. All of us can only operate safely and comfortably and do our businesses and be assured of getting the rewards of our labor when there is a law, when the law is followed by everyone. So the moment we allow a catch of any goals, we are sitting on time bomb, and God forbid we may have to go the way of Rwanda for us to come back to our senses.
Quite unfortunate.
I'm saving this country from going the way of Rwanda, for them to realize. I'm saving this country from going to the way Western Europe has gone. They understand they have serious issues. When you sell guns online, and a child can just order a gun like they're ordering a pizza online, and then they go to school and shoot other kids. This is where we are going. And so somebody must shout. Somebody must say this is wrong.
And that person is you.
And that person is me, but we should be more. It's unfortunate that people think I'm the only one.
Yes.
Because it means parents are not doing their job. It means religious institutions are not doing their job. And I can tell you I'm not the only one. I travel around the country, and I do know that there are many Kenyans who want clean content.
Hold it there. More feedback coming very, very fast. Jen, what more do you have?
Yes, we have, this is by this on our Twitter, the hashtag Yes Good Morning Kenya, at KBC Channel 1, at Victor Olo at Jane Mombo is how you can get to us. We have Kanyiri Jose who is saying, thank you, Dr. Ezekiel Mutua, for your pursuit towards a morally upright society for the world that is in crisis and embraced all forms of post-modernism nudity. Our children need your fight towards decency. You don't have to be liked. You do what you gotta do if it's right. Okay? And one final one.
That's the spirit. And there are many people like that who understand.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Regulation is not about being popular. It's about doing what is right.
All right.
All right. Let's get a last one from Stephen Dege, who says, Dr. Mutua, with this era where there is a direct broadcast to YouTube, how is it possible to monitor and regulate content that is aired?
Wow. You know, the internet is not out of regulation. It's part of the infrastructure. If you go to the United Arab Emirates, you can't watch pornography there.
It's completely regulated, and
in fact, China has its own Google.
Yes.
If you go to countries like the places like Dubai, you can't watch these kind of things. And I always ask the question: what do Kenyans want? Do you want healthcare system that is working, education system that is working, road infrastructure, or you want pornography and the freedom to make noise and disobey government and tarnish the names of other people? Would you rather not have regulations and be like Dubai? Look at closer to home in Rwanda. Rwanda is overtaking Kenya because of the discipline of President Kagame. And I think at some point we need to have those kind of a situation where we have a benevolent dictator.
Yes.
This freedom without responsibility is driving us to a point where we are losing out on what matters.
So Kenyans enjoy a lot of freedom.
Why do you think Rwanda is overtaking us in so many elements? And yet we have, in terms of centrality, our positioning in Africa, we have no comparison. Kenya is the best country.
We are strategically placed.
Why do you think we are losing it? We are losing it because of the breakdown of our moral fabric, because of bad manners, because of youth like the ones in the industry who believe they should not follow the law and they can insult government officials and get away with it because it sounds cool. Look at it this way. And I want to drive you to a point.
No, continue.
In a country where the president can shut his Twitter because kids have no manners and they can say all manner of things, you think it's okay? And we can sit here and think it's okay when the president says, "Wachana na yo Garcia, I don't want to be to be involved." You think it's okay?
That shows how much
you have sunk so low, that we cannot have decent conversations. Look at even some of the things that your colleagues reading. They should not even appear on public TV. They appear because we are so low, even ourselves in our thinking, that even the industry, the kind of people we are employing who run these programs, there's so much childishness, so much lack of talent. We have entrusted our best to the worst. It's like the matatu industry, and I keep driving you back there. When you entrust the transport that carries over 2 million people daily to rob people, the worst of your in society, is anybody who has not gone to school, then something is very wrong with you. That's what we have done with our entertainment industry, with our media. There is a time when I worked in the Nation Media Group, and I used to be here very frequently, when talent was talent. When Leonard Mambo Mbotela would speak and say Je Uniungwana,
and he's still here,
and the entire country would listen. But he's not popular now. The popular characters are the showbiz fellows and the youngsters who do not understand our culture. And I'm saying that with tremendous respect. I want to take you back to where the problem is, because we have to discuss these things openly. The day we stopped paying journalists well, the day we stopped investing in industry, including infrastructure like this, where the national broadcaster is reeling from debt and the lack of support, and it's like it doesn't matter. You know, I look at these things and get very angry, because if I had the power, this would be the station that is more funded than anything else to set the agenda of morality and values and development communication. Short of that, we are going to be feeding our kids with side shows, negativity, toxic messages. We are going to be feeding our kids with horror in the name of news, with obscenity and profanity and vulgarity in the name of entertainment, and we are taking our country to the dogs as we watch. Then you keep complaining. Why are politicians not serving as well? Why is everybody not obeying the law? It's because this is what we want. And let me tell you who suffers. It's not the CEO like me. It's not the minister. It's not the president. No. I am well paid and I have a job. And even if I left KFCB, I have gone to school well. My concern is not about we adults. My concern is about you, young people, who will need an environment where justice matters, fairness matters, and the law matters, and where you have leadership that can listen to you no matter who you are or where you come from. You don't have to be politically correct. You don't have to have a godfather in KBC for you to have your talent the way you're doing it today.
Doctor, let me ask you.
These issues, let me summarize.
Yes.
This boils down to a sense of right and wrong. And where do we see our country in another 10 years, in another 20 years?
What keeps you awake in the middle of the night?
It is the desire to see a morally upright country. That's what keeps me awake.
Are we achieving it? Are we achieving it?
The fact that we are here, the fact that you called me yesterday, I was in Mombasa, I promised you I would come. I took a flight and I'm here.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for honoring the invite.
You called me only yesterday and I'm here.
Yes.
I mean, we're achieving it. The fact that you can see out of the comments that we are getting on Twitter, 90% support this. Look at the conversation on Facebook and so on. What has happened is we have made internet look like it is for bad guys. The bad guys on the internet are maybe 10 or less or 20%. There are 80% who are good.
Yes.
But the 20 are so loud and noisy and messy. They make us think internet is for bullies, it's for people who can write nasty things, it's for people who can say, who can insult the leaders, it's for people who have the, so-called the boldness to take on the government. That is not what the internet was created for. Internet was created for exchanging ideas, sharing good moments, making friends, and connecting with the world, and making business, innovations, and so on. And this is where I'm taking you. By fire, like the Nigerians, by fire, by force. That we must have a conversation to say it is not okay. It's not going to be okay, and the people will suffer. It's our young people.
If something is not done right now.
Yeah, in another 20 years, my brother, we are going to have a serious crisis in this country if we don't have more voices like Ezekiel Mutua, if we don't get programs like this giving airtime to conversations of this nature, if we only fill our airwaves with dirty content, with immoral content, with nasty conversations. Ben Okiri, a Nigerian poet, said, if you want to poison a nation, poison their stories. And this is what is happening.
If you want to poison a nation,
poison their stories. Make them toxic, negative, let people whine, let them be taught that the news is what is negative. When a dog bites a man, it's not news, but when a man bites a dog, that narrative of a man biting dog, the bizarre, the abnormal, is what we are pushing in our airwaves. The consequence is what you are seeing. Who is suffering?
Doctor,
our educational system.
Yes.
It's our leadership. It is our kids who will pay the price of our misdeeds as adults today, our failure in leadership as parents, our failure in leadership as government institutions. And that's why I'm saying there must be a conversation.
You have a lot of work.
Why do you think it's my work alone? Why don't you say we have a lot of work?
Yes.
It's not my work
because you
alone.
have to streamline the society to the required standard.
My role is actually principally to regulate film and broadcast content.
Yeah.
It's only that it is the arena that shapes our values more than anything else. And so people think it's my job to talk about morality. It's not. I am the CEO of Kenya Film Classification Board, and my work is specific. However, within that conversation, we found that if we allow, if we do not create a national conversation, our artists will continue to produce bad content. We are going to have our kids misled by this content, and therefore we need a lot of conversation. Now, somebody asked about the internet and YouTube.
Yes. Because most of the people are now running away from the mainstream media.
Yes.
And we are going on online. You can go to YouTube.
Did I tell you that I'm not promising these guys a better time. I'm promising harder times. You know why?
Okay.
If you do not shape up right now and use Facebook responsibly, use Instagram responsibly, use the YouTube responsibly, we'll regulate them.
You will regulate them? Read
my lips. They will be regulated. Whether during my time or another time, we will bring it under regulation. There cannot be a way where somebody can open a Facebook account and they use your photo and they use your character and they pretend they are you when they are not. I've seen about 5 Facebook accounts. They are not mine. but somebody posts there. Somebody hacked my Instagram account, and they even post photos of my children and my family, and I have no control. And I see people sending me photos and oh, this was very good. We saw it in your Instagram. It was hacked about 3 months ago, and I'm not able to recover it. And somebody using that account with my face, photos, they pick them from the other sources, like now I'm here. So it will look like to unsuspecting members of public or followers.
That is your real account.
Because even the update on KBC, they are there. All right? It is not acceptable. It's wrong. You can't do it in the United Arab Emirates. You can't do it in China. And I want to ask you, those countries that I'm talking about, that's where we go for holiday. That's where we want to go for business. Our Kenyans, even the guys in the village, they want to go and buy things in China to come and trade here because that's a progressive market.
Yes.
How do they get there? With 1 point something.
And that is where you want us to go to.
We are going, our people are going to buy clothes in China to come and sell here.
Right.
Because that country is progressive. With over 1 billion people, but,
yes.
With over 1 million people, but they are making money, their economy is growing. Are they 1 billion or 1 million?
1 billion.
1 billion,
Yes.
1 point something.
Yes,
India, look at the places where we go for what we call medical tourism.
Exactly,
India. These are countries with huge populations, but with decency, a code of human behavior. And because of that, because the founding fathers set the moral foundation, and I can mention Singapore, Malaysia, all these Asian tigers that were at par, or we were at the same point in development with
Way back in the years we were at par
in
with them.
1965, Kenya was ahead of Singapore. In fact, some of our best brains, like Tom Boyer, the likes of Professor Anyang' Nyong'o, they helped to set the models of economic blueprint that have aided those Asian tigers to be where they are today. Yet, Singapore today is a first world country. Look at where we are. Look at Dubai, where we go for holidays, and they say it's a crime-free country.
It's a desert.
It's a desert, but crime-free. Now they are so progressive. Look at the infrastructure. What do you want? That's a question I'm asking. Don't we want to be like Dubai, to be like China? Don't you want to go there and look at it and say, yes? Because some of the, I think, and one of the challenges we have, our artists are not exposed. The farthest some of them have gone is Naivasha. Somebody has just gone to Naivasha and they feel so hot and they want to argue with a professor or somebody who invested. They don't want to read.
There's no harm in going to Naivasha. It's local tourism.
But expand your scope. Go to other countries.
But if somebody is not able to afford that, Doctor, this is us.
Let me tell you. Listen. I was not born rich. I came from a place that was abject poverty, and I'm a CEO. So you cannot use your poverty to terrorize us. Poverty is not an excuse to be immoral. Poverty is not an excuse to disobey the law. Poverty should drive you to do that. I was very shocked when people said I called artists poor, and they are so agitated. If somebody calls me poor, I will work so hard to prove them wrong. I will not be displaying money yet.
My director is even on the floor right now telling me to wind up. But before we wind up, there is a gentleman who asked a question. How is the KFCB making that kind of arrangement to uplift the young upcoming artists, for them, even the funds, the studio where they can afford, and produce clean content? As I
told you first, we are principally a regulator, but we realize that there is actually a lot of ignorance. Our artists, and it is such a tragedy. That the people should know better and give us inspirational messages. They don't understand the law. So we started a national conversation. We are even now appointing brand ambassadors. And we are privileged to have the County Commissioner of Nyeri, the former First Lady of Nyeri, and others. We have now Walter Mongare, who is one of the most successful products of the Kenya National Drama and Film Festival, who is our national ambassador. We have women in business. We have religious leaders who are supporting us in different places. We have political leaders who are clean content ambassadors. But like I told you, we started Nairobi Cinema as a way of supporting this. We have Cinema Mashinani. We are now buying mobile cinema vans that will be
that disappeared long time ago.
Now we are bringing it back.
Where people will go to villages at night and watch.
A month ago, I traveled with the leadership of KBC to Mombasa. You have a huge infrastructure, one of the best studios.
Thank you.
But they're forgotten. So we are signing an MOU with KBC to make that place, because the KBC started Studio Mashinani. But we are saying, why should we have Cinema Mashinani run by KFCB and Studio Mashinani? Can we merge and pull together resources? We are doing doing the same with the Kenya Film Commission under Kalasha to ensure that we are able to spur growth, encourage, motivate, inspire our artists. You know, some of these conversations that are being twisted to look like we are at war, we are not. It's only that when you do wrong, wrong must be called wrong. But there's so much that is going on under the Ministry of ICT. Look, the president decided to appoint young people like Nadia Abdallah in the Ministry of ICT who are driving programs related to youth. Leaders at the level of assistant ministers who connect with the youth even at their language. And the whole idea is to identify what is the problem, what ails the young people, and how can we help you within the government program. So much is going on. But for us, the fact that we have Nairobi Film Center, the fact that we have subsidized programs for the youth, that the fact that we are supporting the Kenya National Drama and Film Festival, the fact that we are having brand ambassadors from the across the rank and file of government to support this conversation, it's our contribution to say, even though our work principally is to rate and classify content and issue licenses, we need a conversation to be able to identify and nurture values, and the ones who are doing right. If you are talented but you have no money, you can get support from the government. Of course, we are not given money to develop. Kenya Film Commission is the developer of the industry. And I think the industry needs to know where to go when they have an issue. KFC is the developer, we are the regulator. But the other programs under the Ministry of ICT, like I mentioned, that are being driven by Kaz Abdallah and others that are geared towards supporting the youth. Let the youth take advantage of the programs within the Ministry of ICT, Innovation and Youth Affairs, to be able to nurture their talent and let them ask sensible questions. If we engage and stop the fight, if we can engage in a decent way and ask the right questions, the government has a lot of programs to support the youth.
Daktari, allow me to finish this conversation at this point, but just promise me that you will come back one more time over and over again so that we can discuss.
Available for you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That is Dr. Ezekiel Mutua, the CEO of KFCB, and we've just been talking about matters, morality and the industry as a whole, and he's saying that right now moving forward is going to be tough on the industry players. I'm in the industry and I'm afraid my boss is here. I'm afraid. All right, that's the topic. Thank you so much for watching. Doctor, thank you for coming.
My greatest pleasure.
Absolutely.
Really, this was good.
We'll be right back.
You mean it's an hour?
We'll be right back. Thank you. Time is on. Time is on. Thank you so much. All right.
Okay. Very good.
Sooner or later, we will tell the whole world we are Qingqi royals.
You have made our whole family a laughing stock and embarrassed us. Are you so unaware you're a princess?
I see. Attack me when your son's gone.
You can't eliminate Prince Chin just because you want to.
Sorry, Majesty. I was just kidding.
Kidding?
Tena nyamaza, usinifanye nijute kwa nini nilikuzaa.
Mimi naota mahali lakini sipajui, lakini hapo mahali kuna sauti.
Mimi na stress zangu mimi mwenyewe. Can you just understand me?
Make me understand. And I knew. Maya.
Utanifanya nini mama? Utanilaani? Utanitoa uhai? Uwezi.
hayawi huwa mbiu ya mgambo imelia, na kwa kawaida ikilia kuna jambo.
Mgambo uliopo hapa ni rumba kavacha, odemba na sukus.
Tutakupromoshea midundo moto ya Afrika, iwe kutoka kaskazini, kusini, magharibi na hata mashariki.
Rumba is here in your living room.
Na popote ulipo.
This is Bridge of Congo.
Nzambe ya sambe la kati, ako sambe la nani?
Right here on KBC Channel 1.
Or you heard the new rumor I bought a new car.
Tito, please give us a break. You're talking about this car like forever. Doesn't it even get old?
Maya, the dog house, we did not see any get old.
A dog house is called a kennel.
Oh, I think it's very much Maalim. So we noticed the
kennel.
Mwalimu, I was just been wondering what is the difference between petrol and moutata?
Sorry?
Moutata.
You are too angry, son. You should watch yourself lest you get an ulcers of the stomach or even worse.
Tito, unless you want to join them, let this be the last time I'm telling you to zip it!
Get the VIP access to the best shows on KBC Channel 1. We have something different, something special to spice you up. Get ready for new, exciting and captivating dramas. Movies.
I love the smell.
Comedy.
I went to the popos. Huh?
Drama.
Will you assault the queen in my house, in my presence?
News, sports and so much more. Do the things that make you happy on KBC Channel 1.
Nenda Lotte playing right here on Good Morning Kenya. This is a KBC Channel 1. Glad you are still with us. We still keep up with the entertainment bit, and we are on to our third and final interview for the day. As we promised you, leo ni siku ya wasanii, as is every other Thursday right here, as is every Thursday, not every other Thursday, right here on Good Morning Kenya. Na hivi sasa tuna superstar moja ambaye anajiita Gucci Boy.
Yeah.
Riziki.
Yeah.
Mambo vipi?
Mimi nashukuru Mungu sana, niko mzima.
Karibu sana Good Morning Kenya.
Asante sana.
Ndio ile kamera yako pale, salimia watazamaji na tupe ya social media handles.
Okay, habari zenu nyote, habari ya asubuhi. Mimi naitwa Gucci Boy, and kwa YouTube utanipata kama Gucci Boy 002 na Instagram utanipata kama Gucci Boy Kenya. Yeah, that's me. So nashukuru sana kufika hapa.
Awesome. So kama una maswali yoyote, please shoot them through #bado inawaka moto pale. That is Good Morning Kenya at KBC Channel 1 at JMoboy at Victor Olo is how you can get to us. So karibu once again to Good Morning Kenya. We are glad you are with us. Glad for making time. Na tumetoka kuongea tuna mkubwa wa KFCB hapa hivi. Ataona hii recording later. Kama msanii, what would you like to say to him as just straight from your heart as an artist, as a creative, mwenye amekuwa kwa industry for a number of years?
Okay, mimi naweza sema ni kwamba anafaa kuangalia the youth sana kwa sababu wengi wanaumia, wengi hawana kitu, wanajaribu tu kuforce kujaribu talent zao zikuwe exposed kwa watu. So wengine wamesauliwa kucheza hata kwa media, ndio maana wanacheza hata kwa hizo manganya, hizo magari nini. No, so it's just like wanna try to push their music. It's not like wanataka wa expose watu to bad things. It's like wanna try to talent yao iko exposed to watu waone, shaona. So if the government inaweza tafuta mbinu ambayo maybe ile talent itafikishwa mahali pia itakuwa ni poa, sababu si wote wanapata zari ya kuchezwa kwa medias.
Mainstream media.
So si wote, so wengine wanategemea hiyo YouTube, wanategemea YouTube na hizo social medias. So sisemi eti naunga mkono kwamba watu waweke vitu ambazo hazifai, content mbaya, kwa sababu mimi mwenyewe napenda muziki mzuri na nafanya muziki mzuri. Na hata lyrics zangu najaribu niandike lyrics ambazo hazina content mbaya, ushaona. So ki artist naweza waambia tuandike content poa, lakini pia government ijaribu kuangalia venye itapush ma artists wajaribu ku gain with what they are doing.
Awesome. We'll support and be proper enablers. Awesome. Now let's come back to your musical journey. It started way back. I'm just going through your bio na naona at 15 years ulikuwa ndo wakati ambapo ulianza muziki.
Tuseme at 15
interests in muziki.
At 15 years ni ndio time ya kuwa nilianza kuwa interest ya kwenda studio ama interest ya kutaka kujua studio, but way back atatoka niko mdogo, my dad used to do some live band music, so nilikuwa na ile natamani niwe kama yeye, because kama ni maisha amenisomesha sababu music, umeona amefanya vitu vyake sababu music, so naona nikifanya kama yeye, and those time ilikuwa hailipi hivyo, na kama amejiendeleza kidogo mpaka kanifundisha. What about this time ambapo kuna kitu kama hizo social medias, kuna nini mali naweza fika mbali.
So ulipata support kwa wazazi na kipaji yako ya muziki, waliona uko na interest, so they were supporting you as opposed to what we traditionally know.
Okay, maybe
music you're not encouraged as much in the artist field.
Okay, my dad hakujua kama I'm doing that because
ulikuwa unacheza chini?
Chini ya maji. But alifariki, so sikuwa na time ya kuwa aone talent yangu, what I could do, but mama amekuwa very supportive, amekuwa kinunga mkono with what I do, na amependa anaidi kwa you focus on what you really like, and I'm sure that utaachieve kile kitu unataka.
So at what point did you decide like I'm going to make a career out of this, I'm going to professionalize craft yangu ikuwe kitu watu wanaweza heshimu wakiniona nikiperform na kitu pia inaniletea shilingi?
The way I was writing, it was so unique. I could just take maybe 10 minutes to write a song of 15 minutes, na nikawa naandikia watu wengi songs. Sasa ikafika kipindi ikawa kuna maartist wengine ambao kitambo nilikuwa nikikaa hivi kwa nyumba na waona kwa screen wa kwetu, naona, and then ikafika kipindi kwamba studio tu ndogo wanakuja na wanataka my lyrics na waipige, na nikaona once wengi wao wakaipiga na ni good songs, so nikasema mimi naweza, why should I write for those people, I can do it alone. And then next time I did it was so great.
Nyimbo yako ya kwanza ilikuwa ipi?
Nyimbo yangu kwanza haikutoka, ilikuwa inaitwa
ile tulikuwa umeandika kwa kitabu mahali ukajiambia, ukajientertain, ukajifurahisha, ukajisupport na ukairudisha.
Nilirecord kabisa. Nilirecord kabisa, ilikuwa inaitwa Sina Habari, but haikupata attention kwa watu. Airplay, sikuwa na support, sikuwa na management, I was all alone. So nijaribu ni fight niende kwa studio nilipe, nifanye ngoma, then kuisupport ilinishinda. So haikuingia kwa masikio ya watu, and thus haikufanya vizuri.
Na ni lessons zipi uli learn from that, given you have the drive, you have the skill, uko na ambition, uko na energy kufanya hii kazi yote, lakini you're putting in the work na ngoma inagonga ukuta. Lessons zipi uli learn from that experience?
Lesson moja ambayo ni learn muhimu, tuseme ni nyingi lakini muhimu sana, ni kwamba no man is an island. Hakuna mtu peke yako huwezi fanya kitu. So hicho kipindi eti peke yangu niseme nashika hapa twende siezi, but at this time nikaamua team, a whole team. So it's when kukaja Corner to Europe, ikanichukua with the manager, CEO, producer, Just Beats, yule This Melody. So ikawa ni team, a full team. Sasa with the team nasonga mbele nyote. So wajua tena.
Na ulikuja kupatanaje na wanajitaji Corner to Europe?
Corner to Europe, tuseme Sheila, my CEO, alinipata kwa hiyo studio, nakwambia sasa studio tu ndogo kwa mtaa. She usually used to come there. Sasa alivyoona na akaona talent yangu, akakuta you got the talent, and mimi niko na dreams za kufanya studio, so you guys just wait, but after some years mimi nitatengeneza studio, na ningependa if I do that studio uje uwe msanii wangu. So nikakuta tu labda ni msaa, mimi nikawa na focus on my life nini. But then one day nikapata tu call from my manager, ambaye sasa ndo manager wangu. Akaniambia njoo huku tukutane. So nikaenda nikakutana nao kuongea, ndio hivyo ikawa studio, tukafungua studio and hivyo
ukakuwa signed up. How long has it been since you got signed to this record label?
Signed as a kwambia kama 1.5 years.
1.5 years. Now, experience being signed as an artist and a record label compared to when ulikuwa an independent artist. How would you compare the two? Na ipi nanye unaona yenye honestly this is what all artists need if they had the opportunity?
Mimi ningesema most of the artists wale wako chini ambao tuseme, because most of artists wako poor. Most of artists are poor, sio eti matajiri. So if kwenu umezaliwa kwenu mko na ganji, then naweza sema hapo uko na zare. But most of them are poor. So peke yako hivi huwezi kitu kabisa, kama venye nimekwambia, bila hela ufanye chochote. So if you get the management, ndio kitu niliona, ukipata management na mtu ambaye anaweza invest in you, shaona, that's when unapata hata ile morally ya kusema I can push this, naweza nafanya hivi but hivyo ndo ni kitu nililearn. So with management na mtu atakumanage akwambie hivi ndo una focus na unakuwa pia akili yako inakuwa kikubwa na unafikiria kwamba muziki ni hela, muziki kumbe sio vile nilikuwa nikifanya nafanya for fun.
Alright. Now ningependa tuambie kuhusu nyimbo zako. Niko na list ya nyimbo 4 hapa na and of course umeniambia kuna moja umedrop audio bado video. Tutakujia hiyo in a bit, but tuanze na Ogelea yenye ambayo ulishirikisha Puka Puka.
DJ Puka Puka.
Tell us inaongelea nini? What was the hype about it? Ilifanyaje kwa industry?
Tuseme hiyo ngoma, kulikuwa na ngoma fulani ya kitambo.
Mbona umejikuna pua hivi nikazua hapo? Either ulichoma ama ulimake?
Sikuchoma, it was nice to song. Hata video yake ukiona utapenda. We shoot it at a beach kwa yacht nini. So wajua Diani Beach, the favorite beach, hakuna mtu ajue hiyo. So ni ngoma ambayo ni kitambo, kulikuwa na ngoma napenda ya Bobby Valentino. Sasa nikafikiria if I twist my Swahili lyrics and Swahili rhythms kwa hii and then naifanya tu ni kama throwback, inaweza kufanya kitu poa. So nilivyoifanya ikawa nice one.
Watu waliipokea vipi?
It did great kuseme, lakini upande za Mombasa sana South Coast ilifanya vizuri because kwa club ilikuwa ikichezwa tu sana kwa radio station, so it did great.
Watu waliogelea nayo.
Watu waliogelea sana.
Aya basi, na what about Turn Me On? Hii ni single, ni collabo?
No, that's naweza kuambia that's my favorite song. Yani of all time. Hiyo inaweza kuwa favorite song yangu, ni song ambayo sikuamini naweza fanya hivyo. Because sikuwa nimefika Nairobi, naweza kuambia hivyo at that time, but hiyo ngoma ndo ilinifanya nikaja Nairobi na nikafanya a bit of media tour. So naweza sema ni song ambayo ilini expose kidogo mbali na Mombasa.
Ulishirikisha mtu kwa hii ama ilikuwa tu single?
No, it's a singles. Mwenyewe tu nifanya single na nikashoot video na Ex Antonio. So hivyo.
Aya basi. Aya twende kwa Pekecha. Na Mr. Director tuniambia tutaanza na ipi, but first tuambie, tell us a bit about Pekecha.
Naweza sema Pekecha ni kama vile unajua ukifanya kitu kama hivi kijiti alafu ukipekecha hivi kitatoka moto. Sasa Pekecha ni ngoma ambayo ilitoa moto. Naweza kuambia hivyo
fire baby.
Fire baby. Yani ilipendwa sana, ilivuka paka North Coast because kama nimekuambia hiyo wengine Ogelea ilikuwa mostly ni South Coast, lakini Pekecha ilipiga paka North Coast na ikawa ni
watu walipenda zaidi.
Watu walipenda, nikaanza kufanya hata show North Coast, show South Coast hivyo. Nikaja hata nika Mboso nini, so it was great.
Aye. Now what about Hurila?
Now that's the Babalao. Because Hurila is a Mijikenda word which means like kampole, kumpole.
Hurila. How do you pronounce it?
Hurira. Hurira.
Nisichome hapa with my Kikuyu roots. Okay, sema Hurira.
It's something like Hurira. So it's like I'm telling a lady to chill down and to show me what she got.
Okay.
Like dancing.
Okay.
She can dance.
Hii ni single ama ni collabo?
It's a single.
It's a single.
Most napenda kufanya singles. Kama ni collabo maybe nitaanza sana hivi huku cause na try to my album, natengeneza album, my EP ambayo nita release soon. So maybe kama ni collabo wengi wataingia kwenye EP yangu.
Awesome. So ni nyimbo ngapi umefanya under the record label Corner to Europe?
A lot. I got like 2 albums there.
Damn.
But nime release ngoma kama Sizo uko nazo hapo.
Hizi zote hapa ni za since you got under the the label.
Yeah, na sai niko na EP. I did an EP ambayo I'm thinking of launching it. So ambayo itakuwa ni EP ya ngoma 8 ambapo ngoma ya 9 itakuwa ni bonus track kwa mafans wangu. Yeah.
Awesome. And you had mentioned kuna audio me release is it today?
No, it's like a week
ago.
Yeah.
Inaitwaje?
Inaitwa Don't Worry, it's a motivational song. So wakati boss hapa alikuwa anaongelea kuhusu clean content, nikasema
don't worry.
Nikamwambia yani anaona the Don't Worry is a clean content. I'm trying to tell the presenters that they should play the clean content songs and they should play my song.
Yes.
Because I've been pushing, doing good music, and I don't see it to go somewhere. So you're like a motivational song to those who are giving up, because nikamba najiambia mimi ni kama naambia watu wengine pia to never give up. Don't worry.
Don't worry, things will be alright. And especially now na time ya COVID, and we'll be getting back to you. Just tell us how the past year or so has been for you as an artist. But before we get to do that, Mr. Director, unachezea ngoma ipi hivi sasa ya Mr. Gucci Boy? Ningoje kidogo. Director amesema tungoje kidogo, ngoma inakuja. But before we get to play your song, history na COVID ni kitu affect artists wengi, and kila msanii akona experience yake personal. Those who are independent artists, they've had a hard time, and there are also some who are signed to record labels na pia things hazijakuwa vizuri vile. But kwako wewe as Gucci Boy, imekuwa vipi?
Kitu imekuwa mbaya sana. Naweza sema imenipotezea vitu vingi sana, naweza sema hivyo. But pia imenijenga some ways, like napata time ya create a lot of songs, because kuna ile time ya kuwa sina show, hakuna gigs, hakuna mahali tunaweza safiri, hasa ile time ya lockdown. So ni mimi na studio na mimi. So nimepata time mpaka ku complete album yangu, nimepata time ya kuandika hata ngoma mob mpaka ndio pale nikakwambia niko na album like 2 of them.
Yes.
So kufikia sahi is just releasing them. But ki uchumi imeregesha nyuma, because kama ingekuwa kuko open at least ningekuwa nimemake dough, like, but then inabidi umefinika uko ndani tu, umekaa kwa nyumba lockdown. Sana nasema ni mbaya sana.
Na ni lessons zipi? Najua pia ni kitu niliuliza the other artists tulikuwa naye hapa hivi, hii COVID kama creative imekufunza nini in the event that if another pandemic is to happen, you won't go through the same harsh reality yenye umepitia?
Naweza sema akiba yozi. Hiyo kitu naweza sema sana. So unafaa mtu, imenifunza ile kuwa I have to keep akiba, kuweka akiba. Ndio itasaidia, because ukiwa na akiba hata kukija na pandemic then inakusaidia, but kama hauna akiba hakuna kitu utafanya. So kitu tunaweza sema ni kwamba you don't have to depend on one career. Unaweza fanya music na ukatafuta hata kama ni kitu kingine ambacho kitakuwa kinaingiza hela kidogo. But then ukichukulia music ukisema utafanya na kitu kingine pia ni changamoto. Sababu gani? Utakuwa time yako si nyingi umefocus kwa music. So in short, naweza sema upate kitu tu ambacho kitakusaidia kivyovyote, yani ni sawa.
So kama muziki ndio main hustle yako, tafuta side hustle nyingine pia ambayo itakuwa backup.
Backup. In case of any emergency una turn back.
Uko sawa. Kakismoke nuku uko na backup hapa. So tukifunga hii conversation, there are so many up and coming artists that are watching us today, and they're just trying to find their footing kwa industry, bado hawajajielewa in terms of the genre of music they should pursue, the kind of production companies they should look out for, because quality muhimu, content pia muhimu. Ungependa kuadvise aje wakiventure into music?
First ujue unataka nini. Naweza sema hivyo, you have to know what you want, na mtu asikupush akakwambia uwezi. Shaona? Because Mungu si athumani. Hakuna mtu atakwambia eti yeye ni Mungu ama mtu anambia anajua kesho.
Yes.
Wewe ni ufanye kama wewe, ucheze kama wewe yani. So na ujiamini, you have to have the confidence and ile kujiamini ndani, na believe in your self instincts. Hiyo ndio kitu naweza sema. Waweza kuwa mashairi yako ni mabovu, lakini once umejua flavor yako, hasa kwa wale ambao hawajajua the way flavor yake ni gani. Unajua kuna mtu anaimba lakini hajui mimi style yangu ni gani. Because unaweza imba kwamba una sound kama Harmonize ama una sound kama Diamond. Upate ile flavor.
Una kama mtu fulani mko.
Yeah. Upate ile flavor yako kwa mtu yote akisikiza anajua huyo ni Gucci boy. Unakota. Sasa ile flavor yako kitambo ipate, you have to uwe sure kwamba umeshaeka hiyo ngoma yako, flavor yako umeipata, una perfect on your own style.
Yes.
Yeah.
Usikue replica ya mwingine.
Yeah, usikue replica ya mtu.
Awesome. Aya, tukifunga ningependa tukumbushe your social media handles, ndio hiyo kwa camera, tukumbushe social media, YouTube, na shout out tu kwa mafans ambao wanakuwatch leo.
Okay, kwanza kwa YouTube tanipata kama Gucci Boy 002, ambao ni Gucci ya Kiswahili ile GUCHI alafu B for boy. Gucci Boy alafu 002 na YouTube channel yangu pale, kila kitu changu kiko pale. And Instagram tanipata kama Gucci Boy Kenya, and Twitter pale najua tena ni Gucci Boys 3, Gucci Boy 3 hivyo tu. Yeah, and shout out zangu nyingi, nimependa sana kusema shukran kwa studio yangu Untitled Production, shukran kwa CEO Sheila, amekuwa mtu ambaye ni msaidizi sana kwenye dreams zangu. Shukran kwa manager wangu, nimekuja naye pia hapa hivi, Daniel Wechuli. Shukran zingine zimfikie producer wangu Just Beats, and Melody yuko pale, na wote kina Waitiki, kina Mitch, kina Puka DJ. Yeah, so and zaidi zimfikie mamangu pia penye yuko, najua anaangalia. Yeah, and this is your boy, I love you.
Oh, hi mama. Thank you for supporting your boy. Yeah. That brings us to a close of this conversation. Manze, thank you so much for coming through, making time to come through, share with us your music, your craft. We appreciate you and we'll support you as best as we can.
Yeah, thank you too. Nashukuru sana kufika hapa.
Awesome.
It's been a pleasure.
Awesome. Now, we want to wrap up the show, but Mr. Director ananiambia tuko na mangoma kadhaa. Ameniambia kuna zako ambazo hatuwezi cheza saa hii. Tumetoka kuongea na Mdosi. And of course, this is Watershed Period. This is all about family content that can be consumed by all. Okay. But nonetheless, follow him on YouTube and can be able to get all his music right there. But for now, we need to close this conversation. Remember, today is the second last day that we are going to be having the interviews for the IEBC commissioners. And today, let me just get the list of the names or rather of the interviewees that are going to be on the panel today, being the second last day. Let me just pull out that list of the shortlisted candidates that are going to be facing the panel today. Where is it? Here we go. Yes, there we go. Today being the 22nd of July, we are going to be having Simeon Muket, who will be facing the panel today. We'll also be having Timothy Tipila as well as ZP Nzisa facing the panel today. So all that will be happening here. Make sure to catch up with all this programming from as of right now. We'll be having another session at 11 and another session at 2 p.m. But for now, we want to say thank you so much for being part of us. We want to wish you a lovely day and weekend ahead. On behalf of the entire Good Morning Kenya crew, have a lovely day. God bless. My name is Jane Wamboy.